Hi, this is round 2 from the Matrix interference. Sorry about the confusion. I don't know what happened, but I got booted out of my own stream. Can you believe it? Well, hopefully everyone can come back on and join. So I'm going to post the link again. Sorry for the Matrix interference. I got booted out of my own stream. I don't know what happened. I couldn't get back on. But we're here again. Hopefully everyone can rejoin. Hey, I don't know what happened, but here we are.
It's the devil's work, boy. The devil's in the computer.
We were speaking too much truth, I guess. It wanted us to end it. So yeah,
There's always something going on.
A lot of interesting information. Yo, Bliss is in the house. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it?
Always good to hear from you, my friend. So what's on your mind?
What's up? What's happening?
Just another day of hell.
I don't know.
Trying to get
They
people
said better
together.
than Aka.
Oh, blissfully ignorant. What's up, man? I like your channel.
Yeah,
What's up?
He's the legend.
The legend.
How's your day going?
Bit of an echo.
Yeah. Well, anyone's, feel free to, if you have anything you want to share, go ahead.
Well, I did get cut off by like 7 people. So.
Oh yeah. Okay, continue.
No, I don't have. I mean, I finished the overview of kind of what happened to me, but
yeah.
I mean, we can get into like tons of different theories as to what is going on.
There's a bit of an echo.
What?
Yeah, I can't really hear you, Bliss. Your mic's kind of.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Is it my mic?
Yeah. So philosophy vids with what you shared. So what do you think we should be doing then, in your opinion?
To do what? To address it?
Yeah, I mean, with all the info you shared, how should we go about living this hell, knowing that? What do you think?
Good question. I mean, other than what I've already done, which is pretty much confirmed this force exists, I can't specifically tell anybody what to do other than, I mean, we're not going to do anything about it if we are not aware. So I think a lot of people aren't aware of what this is. So until we get more people up to speed, I think it is important to just share information as to what this place actually is. Because like you're not going to do anything if you don't understand even the basics of what is happening here. In what's like called mainstream Christianity does not do a good job of explaining this beyond the fact that they say, okay, there's spiritual evil. They acknowledge that, but there's not really an in-depth explanation of what is actually going on and how this works and what this, I mean, it's essentially a non-human force. These entities, this conspiracy is being carried out by a force or a state of awareness that can't be regarded as human. So that's my first step, really. I mean, I was engaged in spiritual warfare with these entities. So that would be probably the most direct thing. Why myself in particular, I can't tell you, and I can't direct you like, oh, go to this place and here you're going to find the entities and we're going to beat them up or something. Like, obviously that's not an option. So become aware of what is actually going on and where in this process we are. And from that perspective, that we have a fighting chance to actually address it. Otherwise, it ain't going to get addressed ever. If people keep denying this is going on, nothing's going to be done. So,
but what if we're to be completely, completely honest, what do you think we can actually do?
I think it's going to have to get really bad before people actually do anything, simply because the human mind will continue to deny, and because there isn't a clear path, even from somebody who's claiming they encountered this force. I mean, I did what I did. I essentially told them to go F themselves, and I was aware of what was going on. And as you can imagine, that correspondence went south very freaking fast. But since then, even for myself, it's not clear.
Okay.
It's not
Am I
clear
in?
other than I continue to gather information. I continue to gather more and more info, and I don't think I know everything. So if anybody else has ideas on,
Too much of an echo.
I have an idea.
Go
I
for it.
still think people need to seriously consider what I'm talking about, transmuting the grid at the smart meter where you live with a pyramid and Shungaiden stuff. If enough of us actually transmute the grid across the realm in different locations, we can reduce a lot of the negative energy and I guess take away some of the dark energy in the realm and kind of return it to an original state of like a less dense kind of reality. I'm not saying it will be like a dream world, like bliss or whatever, but that's my idea. And then I just wanted to mention real quick that last guy. I don't know if you guys know the Truth TV guy that was on the first stream, but the way I interpreted that is that maybe he worked for YouTube or something, but somebody hacked it, booted Joshua off his stream, and then the guy was just laughing and being really loud, like over talking and interfering. So forgive me if I'm interpreting that wrong, but that's kind of what it felt like. But I'll be quiet now.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but yeah, I got booted somehow, some way. The thing was the audio, I couldn't hear anything, and then I got booted somehow. But anyways, so I guess Bliss is gone. Tanise, I can't add you for some reason. It won't let me. Anyways, so I guess going back to our conversation, Ronan, do you have any solutions or experiences that you find helpful?
At this moment, I just don't think there are solutions. And I think each individual has to come to their own conclusion. I know my solution. Like I know what I'm going to do, but what I'm going to do is probably most people don't come to the same conclusion.
Well,
So
you're free to talk about it here. So go ahead if you want. If you feel like you want to.
because I think we have our own individual experience. And I think an individual can come to certain conclusions. And then I say, okay, from this conclusion, what can possibly be done about this reality? And for me personally, I just don't see anything. I think the way it's designed, the way it runs, I don't see anything changing this place, anything
Yep.
reversing this place, anything making this place better or bearable. Like you can find maybe some things for yourself personally, but I just think at the end of the day, for me, I will never find satisfaction or freedom in this reality. So I've come to my own conclusion about what I'm going to do. But I think each person has to come to their own conclusion. Like for me, I'm not giving this play 40 years, dude. No way. Like I've already determined that not happening for me. So I know what I'm going to do. I have my solution. And I wouldn't even say it's a solution, but there's an infamous quote. I forget who says it, but there are no solutions, only compromises. So I know my, kind of my exit. And I've seen, people trying to meet each other, maybe trying to form a group, but I don't see that happening. I think it's possible, but it's like there's so few of us. It's very difficult to meet up. That's going to get harder and harder as the years come by. I also I don't say I can see the future, but it's kind of obvious what's coming down the pipe. It's just going to get a lot worse. So it's like I'm going to stick around for a reality that I already know sucks and I already know is going to continue to get worse. Just why? So that's kind of where I am. And maybe I just don't see that changing for me. I think this is kind of, the core. It's the bedrock. I know what this reality, I maybe not know every aspect of what this reality is, but from a logical standpoint, it's pretty obvious. And it's like, okay, if I'm just going to be a puppet, if I'm just going to be a tool for whatever this place is. And I've even thought long terms, like, okay, my goal is to get even if I'm 100% off grid, cabin in the woods, full self-sustain it. It's like, I'm still here. I'm still not free. I'm still consuming animals, insects, plants just to
Exactly.
survive.
Yeah.
I'm still part of this. I still can't go where I want. I can't do what I want. I will never have joy. I will never have happiness here. So for me, it's like, even if I obtain my number one goal here, it's like, that still will never be enough. I'm still here. So
So what
for
is
me, I
the
know how. Oh,
go
go ahead.
ahead. Okay. I was just gonna say, what is, if we're gonna talk about solutions, what is the goal to ultimate? Is it to just get out? Like, our perception is that we are here. So is the end goal for everybody that we don't like being here, we want to get out? Is that kind of the consensus? But we don't know how to get out because we're like perceptually locked into the body.
What other way out is there besides death?
So I mean, we don't know if it's an out, but it would seem to be, at least our consciousness is freed from the body. But if you look into this more and more, it seems that if this is a perceptual prison cell, if designed to entrap awareness, which is kind of what everybody's in the side of YouTube has concluded, it doesn't end at bodily death. So even that is not a guarantee we're going to, quote, get out, which is concerning, but not surprising. Like, if it was as simple, I mean, if it was as simple as, okay, the body dies, we're out, then there is no issue. We just need to wait, and then when the body runs its course, we're out. But all information I've found seems to point to the fact that consciousness is continually being recycled back in here. So that is another layer of this. So if this is a simulation that was designed to entrap awareness for the purpose of generating low vibrational energy, which is pretty much what it seems to be, and was created by this non-human force for that specific purpose, we have to get to a perceptual state because, okay, we're in the body right now. How do you, if you plan on first exiting the body, how do you know your perception is going to be at a point that whatever happens afterwards is not going to lead you back in here? So the way I'm approaching this is I'm going to get to as expanded of a perspective right now in this level of the simulation that whatever happens upon bodily death, hopefully my perception can override that as well. I can reconnect with consciousness that is outside of the simulation frequency band. Because you can think of this reality as like an isolated bubble from infinity. And ultimately, what we are trying to do, like what the goal is, we don't want to perceive this place. We are perceptually trapped here at the moment. So we know what the end goal is. We know what we want. It is to reconnect with infinity. We're just trying to figure out how to do that. And as far as I know, we are entrapped here through our perception. So if you can get your perception to a certain point where you understand what this is, that sequence of perceptions can lead to an expanded consciousness that ultimately does lead you out of here. I can't, if people want a solution, that's the most direct one I can come up with, because you're not physically you're not going anywhere. There is no actual space. There is no actual time. You are only here. This entire lifetime is just a perception that you are here. You are not actually here aside from your perception that you are. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of my solution. And if people want a step-by-step manual, how do you expand your awareness? Well, you do that through information that alters your perception. And what I've been kind of talking about on my channel is discussing what this reality is. So that's what I have as far as solution. So anybody can comment on that.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do that while I'm here, is expand my perception beyond the mental programmings of the human vessel, so to say, and all the bullshit that comes along with that.
If the conspiracy is manipulated perception, which it is, I experienced that firsthand. I experienced what this force was trying to do to me. They were trying to manipulate my perception of damn near everything. So that is the conspiracy. It is manipulated perception of what this is. And if they can control perception, they can keep consciousness in here. So what you people who have kind of gotten to this level are doing, you're on the right track. I mean, there is no, I'm not going to say you need to off yourself, and that's your free ticket out of here, because all the information seems to suggest otherwise. There are people who are dying and are coming back in here all the time. That is what reincarnation is. Consciousness is constantly being recycled in and out of this simulation, this level of the simulation. There's multiple levels. If it was just this level, then you would be out. But that is not the case. I am 100% certain of that. So
I'd like to mention something that I made a video about and talked to Joshua once. I'm just going to mention it because I think there's truth in it. But the way I interpret this realm is it's a prison of false light, like electromagnetic false light, right? So the idea is we have flux light, which is our true light in our consciousness. We are true light, and we're imprisoned in a false light matrix, a simulated reality.
Lucifer.
So theoretically, if we increase our true light capacity greatly, we can expand beyond the E equals MC squared speed of light parameter, top speed of the matrix, and either just leave in consciousness and not come back, or bend the construct to our advantage, more or less. You could call it a reality distortion field, whatever. But I understand like the transmuting the grid idea, and this true light thing with the flux light stuff is like whatever sci-fi or whatever, but I think there's truth to it, and that's all I'm going to say, because not everybody will maybe agree, and that's fine, but that's my opinion.
Well, your opinion is very valued here. I mean, everyone's opinion is valued, because who can say they know the absolute truth? I don't think anyone can do that. I mean, even with you philosophy vids, like you experienced this firsthand, but yet you still aren't 100% sure about things. I think that's just the nature of this realm.
If anybody wants to ask any questions, feel free. I mean, yes, I don't have 100% answers, other than I am damn near 100% sure of what I experienced, meaning this was what Christians would refer to as Satan. It was that inverted consciousness. This person was being controlled by that consciousness. And that has tied into my other research very seamlessly, in that this reality seems to be created by this inverted consciousness for the reasons I've already described. It is essentially feeding this Wetiko, what the Native Americans called Wetiko consciousness. It is feeding, they're feeding off of us. That is what is fucking going on here. And pardon me, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on here, but that is what is going on.
You can do whatever you want.
Okay, I don't know.
Just don't say any of the naughty words that will get me banned off YouTube.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
So can you give us a personal experience on how you expand your consciousness, so that we can have like a real world example?
Well, just the sequence of events that led me to this encounter, which led me to the perspective where I'm at right now, was it was strange. I sort of explained it, but I after that kind of like spiritual depression that I went through, I was researching David Icke's work. And I know a lot of people have read his books and they've not had experiences like myself, so I understand that. But there was a sequence that was triggered through information that led to an expanded perspective that ultimately actually led to an encounter with this force that has led me to this level of understanding that I'm at now. So I can't tell anybody you need to do what I did, because I understand that's not reasonable and most people aren't going to be able to do that. But that's essentially how it has worked with me. So I can't speak for anybody else, but
How
your
do you think?
perception has led you to a point where you are here talking to me, and I am somebody who has actually encountered this force. So there you go. There's your own perception is expanding, but because you don't feel a certain way, you might not realize it.
Okay, so which parts of the Bible is true in your opinion, and which parts are the deception, and why so many Christians are led astray? If do you believe in Jesus is a actual spirit that was sent to set us free, or what is your opinion on that?
It's a good question. I don't really view the Bible as like gospel truth, but what I pretty much do is I just look through it and I pick out certain passages that are so oddly specific. Most of them revolve around what this inverted consciousness is, where it came from. So Revelation 12 essentially describes there was a revolt. So if you, and I can come at this from two perspectives. I can reference the Bible and I can actually tell you what these entities told me from their own perspective, which is really fucking weird. But so Revelation says there was a revolt in one of these higher dimensions. And this is from his books and also our correspondence. What we'll just call this person Lucifer said was that these dimensions, you can think of creation as like layers of an onion extending outward from that first ancient realm of creation. And I'm not endorsing any of the ideas presented here because they are inverted, but essentially what he told me was there was a revolt in that first ancient realm of creation. This was that war in heaven that is described. And ever since then, these realms have come into being one after another. And I'll kind of present what I think is going on and what he said. But what he said is there is like each realm of creation has an infinite domain, what you would refer to as a heaven, and has a finite counterpart, which you could refer to as a finite multiverse. There's multiple universes embedded in the greater structure of what you would call a multiverse. And each universe contains one sentient species. And what he told me was the only infinite question that God can ask is, what is he not? And he said, the purpose of these realms is that question, like an isolated bubble. So this, he never said this was a simulation. I'm reverse engineering what he said and arriving at that conclusion based on other information. But he referred to this as a universe. And there are Googleplexes of universes embedded in the framework of what he called the finite multiverse. And each multiverse has an infinite counterpart wherein the infinite spirits, essentially what he said is your spirit resides in that infinite domain and has limited its perception to this finite universe to perceive this place. And what are these infinite spirits, these points of attention? He referred to them as sentient beings. And I'm not endorsing this. People can make of this what they will, but I'm coming at it from both perspectives. And he said the purpose is to explore the question, that infinite question, what is God not? And eventually this domain is exhausted as a void for God to expand into. And I understand how this kind of sounds. And then another layer of creation is created beyond that. So this finite multiverse will die a heat death. And those infinite spirits will only exist in that infinite domain referred to as heaven. In this realm of creation is on the outer layer of that onion of creation. And there are Googleplexes of layers of creation more ancient. There are a shitload of these heaven realms. What he said human heaven is on the outer layer of creation. There are more ancient heavens. And what he said is this rebellion occurred in one of those ancient realms of creation, in what humans would refer to as an angelic realm of creation. I kind of went off on a tangent there. What was your initial question, Joshua?
I don't remember now. Oh,
Oh yes, you were asking me what is true and what is false. So he essentially said this finite multiverse was manifested as a result of their rebellion. That is what he told me. And in Revelation 12:7, it describes the same war in heaven. It says there was a war in heaven, yada yada, Michael fighting against the dragon. He was thrown down, he was cast out of heaven. That is essentially the terms he used were he created darkness or something. The darkest yet created. And God expanded to fill that void that they created. And what he said, that what science has termed the Big Bang, was this rebellion. It was this rebellion in the higher dimensions. And resulted in the manifestation of this realm. That is what he said. And you can make of that what you will, but all I'm saying is there are a few very specific passages in the Bible that do seem to line up with everything else I've researched. There was a revolt of a large number of spirits in one of these more ancient, if you can call it that, realms of creation. For whatever reason, I can't sit in and be like, oh, there was somebody got pissed. There was a reason. We don't know exactly what happened. Perhaps they tried to overthrow what you would refer to as God. Perhaps they tried to subvert the infinite as that dominant force in creation, and they failed. Who knows? We don't know what happened. You can only speculate. So that did happen. Because then you're tasked with the question, where did this force come from? That is essentially hijacked this reality. Where did they come from? Where did this evil come from? Well, it had an origin. It didn't just come into being for no reason. Well, they essentially revolted. That is the explanation. And I think it's, until, there's more information, there's not much else you can really say about what happened.
Yeah, well, I mean, no matter what your interpretation is, there's definitely some evil force behind this realm. And, people may not agree with you, but that's fine. I mean, you came to your own conclusions, your own experiences. You've sought the truth out for yourself. And I commend that. And people who don't agree with you, that's fine too. But, we should respect each other.
Philosophy. May I ask you a question, Philosophy?
Yeah, go ahead.
So do you believe, what's your concept of God?
When I think of God, I don't think of it in terms of like a ruler. The way I look at it is beyond the confines of this simulation, this universe, this whatever you want to call it, lies essentially infinity, infinite potential, infinite being, consciousness, whatever you want to call it, manifesting these different realms into being. And that infinite being, that infinite consciousness, that everything ultimately comes from. I know this is like a new age interpretation, but I don't think of God as like a tyrant. It is simply that infinite. It's infinity, pretty much, because that's where everything comes from. It's all possibility waiting to manifest. And ultimately, that is what we come from. You came from that before you were here. I came from that ultimately. Joshua did. We are not confined to your little identity. You are ultimately an expression of that consciousness. That is my interpretation. Or you can think of it as God created individualized spirits. You are one of those spirits. Who knows? But what is your view, Ronan, of God?
Not that. I don't really know, to be honest. I just think that, to me, this reality kind of disproves a benevolent God. So I think that whatever this force is, it may not even know what it's like to even be human. And And I think it's even quite possible that creation in itself is evil. The very first thing to be created, that first action is possibly why all of this has to be like this. It is evil in itself, possibly. But I see what you're saying too. I just have, I just to be honest, I have no idea. I just, when I look at this reality, to me, I just don't see a benevolent God existing because this place not only does this place exist, but this place continues to exist. And
So
the very first being that suffered and was not allowed to not suffer, to me disproves but benevolent. It doesn't disprove a God or a being or something creating this place. I do think that's true. I just don't see the benevolent factor. I don't think that's real.
I mean, I agree. This place was likely created by the God of this place is this force. And this is kind of what I've been saying. So why is there suffering here? Why is this place the way it is? Well, if what we've been thinking of as a natural creation created by a benevolent God is actually akin to a counterfeit copy that was created by a non-benevolent God, a God who revolted, who in his spiritual nature became opposed to that God, then you do have an explanation. I mean, we're assuming they can't create. We're assuming this force does not have any creative capacity. Well, I think that is at least somewhat of an explanation. I think it's a stretch to say evil is the dominant force in creation. I don't think.
What? No way. How can you? Well, okay, continue.
No, the evil dominates this part of creation. There's no doubt about that. But you think evil dominated infinity? There's no proof of that. There's no proof of that. I mean,
But all you know is this reality. You have no proof of anything else,
well, yeah, because
right?
we're perceptual. We are
It's just
perceptually.
believe. It's just faith. It's hope, right? All we have is this reality. So as of what we know, right? We can hope, we can believe, we can have different experiences, but all we know practically is this reality, right?
Yeah, philosophy videos, Vich, you said that, can you hear me? Because I had to
I
connect to the
get okay. I'm
Wi-Fi.
not. I'm not
We
your.
can hear you.
Yeah, I
Okay,
understand
cool.
the
Okay,
argument.
you said that these entities that you encountered, they are fallen angels. How do
Yes.
you know for sure that they are fallen angels? Because that's like a religious concept.
Well, I can't personally prove to you they're fallen angels, but I did have a confession. One of them essentially did tell me they are fallen angels. And I've done a shitload of research into this. If you look at some of the technology this person is posting, the mathematical ability, I mean, we're talking an IQ into the 200s. So I can't personally prove to anybody this person is a fallen angel. I can only go off of my own experience. So I can point you in the direction, look at the information this person is posting. Look at the technology. Is this a typical human? No. I mean, if you're being honest, you can see pretty quickly this is not a human. And if this force does exist, somebody is bound to confront or to yeah, confront it at some point. People always talk about these entities existing, yet if somebody actually encounters them, then it's a problem. So I'm just saying I did encounter them and they do exist. And I can't prove to you personally, I can't drag you through what I experienced or telepathically tell you what I went through, other than I'm just telling you I did encounter this force. It does exist. And they are essentially the biblical fallen angels. It is this force.
Yeah, yeah. I've went out of my body twice. One back in 2011 and one in 2016. And I can tell you that our communication is via telepathy. We communicate via our minds. So these entities can appear as anything. So that's why I'm saying we don't know. We don't know what they are. They could be aliens. You know what I mean? So we don't know for sure.
Could be computer programs.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah,
that
I think it's not necessarily AI, but they use technology to enslave us.
It
That's
could
why
all be
we're in a
technology.
simulation.
Yeah.
here's something I think. I think that the terms we're presented with could mean many different things. Like fallen angel could still be the same entity, yet it's given the biblical name as fallen angel, but it could just be beings that have more knowledge than us that can manipulate us, which could still be a fallen angel. It's just a different term for it, perhaps. Is that possible, Philosophy Vids?
Yeah, they're all different terms for the same force: demon, fallen angel, Wetiko consciousness, jinn, archon, demiurge, Yaldabaoth. It's all the same fucking thing. They're all the same. It's an inverted, chaotic, ridiculously stupid consciousness that is essentially behind this reality, or is behind the hijack of this reality. And that's what I'm just trying to convey. This does exist. And if you are not that force, if you don't understand the scale of evil that we are dealing with, or you've never seen it, well, we've seen it. We've all seen it. We've all seen the manifestations of that force at work in this world, but you don't, with your five senses, you look at somebody or you look at a person and you think, no, that's a human. It's like sorry, I think blissfully ignorant just said, they can appear in different forms. That is what I experience. They appeared as a person in a body vessel similar to us, but they are not like us. This was one of these entities essentially inhabiting a body.
Yeah. You see, what I've noticed is that when you leave the body, it's like a different. Just another matrix. People speak about the astral, but the astral is just another matrix.
Yep. I agree with that too.
Who can agree with that? Because the astral is basically when they show these entities, these beings, which is running the show. They show the people that what they want to see, like a heaven, or to deceive the souls, and then they send them back by telling them that it's not their time. They've got a purpose. So that's just another matrix. It's an illusion. It's a holographic universe. This is not the only simulation that we're dealing with here. We are on deeper shit than we know, than you think.
So you think we're like there's multiple versions of us on different simulations at the same time? Or do you
Yes,
mean
yes,
if you okay.
yes. There's more than one matrix. There could be many. That's what I'm saying. So many people, when they plan, when they're going to leave the body, they're going to search for the real world, quote unquote, a heaven, home, going home. That's a bad idea, because what I've noticed is when I left the body, that I experienced another matrix where the deception is it's worse than it is here.
Yeah.
So we need to find a way what I'm saying is you need to run the other way. You need to get the fuck out, as out of the whole matrix concept, because it's a maze. I don't even think there's a real world. We don't know. We don't know. It's our memories have been suppressed. That's what I'm saying. And previously said that our consciousness has been split in three parts: our conscious mind, unconscious mind, and subconscious mind. And a lot of the secrets lies in our subconscious mind, but it can't get to us because it's been split, as our brain is used as a governor to our consciousness. So when we die, they quickly get you before you can remember what happened and how it all began. So instead of trying to find home, if you will, you should go your own way and just be by yourself and try and remember to, try and access your subconscious mind, your subconsciousness. Because I believe within your subconsciousness, that's where all the secrets are. It talks to us in imagery. The subconsciousness is the bulk of the powerhouse. It's our God particle. When we leave the body, that's when the beast is out of the cage. That's why they love bomb you. They love bomb you. They throw you religious figures. They show you deceased loved ones, but it's not them. It's just all holographic images to get you into that light so they can lock you into another brain and birth you into the simulation. So that's why it's important to go solo first and try and access your subconsciousness and try and remember. Because I believe that they didn't erase our memories permanently. They can only suppress our memories, which is in the subconsciousness.
What are some practical ways that you've been able to unlock your subconscious?
Yeah, no, it's very difficult. It's through meditation and stuff, but it's been locked away. Like I said, these beings that imprison us split our consciousness in 3 parts, and our subconsciousness is one of them. And it's nearly impossible to access your subconsciousness, your subconscious mind, because it's like an automated system. You can only access it when you leave the body, like 100%. And even then, when you leave the body, it'll take you a while to access your subconscious mind. And I believe that's where your memories are, of all your past lives and what happened and how it all began.
Gosh, that's so fucked up, man. We're literally limited in gaining access to not only truth, but our own faculties. Our bodies are limited. We don't even have our full faculties. To me, that's just
Yeah,
crazy.
exactly.
Yeah,
But I agree. I agree with you.
I think a fucked up thing is like we're all pretty much on the same page, yet we kind of have different interpretations, and that in itself hinders us from unifying. You know what I mean?
Well, I
Instead of
think it sounds like philosophy vids is on a different track. I kind of relate to what blissfully ignorant saying. I'm more along that, and it seems like philosophy vids is kind of on a different. He believes in different things. I think there's kind of a split between.
yeah, but I think the
The group
core of it
here.
is this realm is a fake artificial hellhole.
Yeah, we all have the same core.
You know
Like
what I mean?
we can all agree on that, for sure.
I would say
I mean,
one
the only
one
thing I'm
good
saying that's
definition.
different is I'm just saying the devil does exist, or what the Bible terms fallen angels, fallen spirits do exist. Otherwise, what are you going to call this evil force? You can call it art. No, not you say no. It's not the devil. It's Yaldabaoth. It's the demiurge. It's
Yeah,
evil
you
AI.
can call it anything.
But to me, it doesn't matter what you call. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just the
Well, it
fact
doesn't
that it
really,
exists.
Exactly.
It's the fact that we're here, and it's the fact that we cannot leave of our own volition. It doesn't matter what you call it. Doesn't matter where it came from. It doesn't matter. It's just the fact that it exists, and I exist here against my will. That's all that matters.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that's the bottom line is pretty much what you just said, but my encounter with these entities was it wasn't the evil AI, it wasn't it wasn't Yaldabaoth or the demiurge. It was what Christianity refers to as the devil. It was an individualized spirit. That part, it doesn't really matter. You're right. On a personal level, it doesn't matter to you, but that is the entity, the being, the force that has hijacked human reality. Meaning, who is the devil? Who is the devil? It is
Maybe in a real world, there would be no limitations, right? So in the other matrix realm, people call the astrals, etherics. If there's any limitation, it's still a matrix. I mean, if you go by that kind of definition, because once the body and brain here die, if you're still consciously aware, you're not human anymore. You don't have to be, right? And you're not your name that your body was. These are just labels. Yeah. This whole place is fake, man.
Exactly.
You're not human if you're no more body, no more name.
As Infinity said,
Right. Go ahead.
As Infinity, sorry, I'm sorry. As Infinity said that when you leave the body, we see that we've all been programmed to have arms, legs, a mouth, a nose, ears, but we're not the body, you know. So they programmed us with all these beliefs, like religion. If it's not religion, then it's New Age. If it's not New Age, then it's evolution. You know, the mainstream belief systems. But I'm not satisfied with those narratives because I know that mainstream is all a lie.
I
And
don't
like
accept.
philosophy was, yes,
I don't accept any limitations on my consciousness. This place is all wrong, man. We should definitely be able to come and go from here. That's one thing, but not being able to do what your consciousness, your heart and soul and spirit desire in an instant. I mean, that's like a violation of a
yeah,
sentient,
that sucks.
spirited being.
But
This
it's
place is a
exactly what it
violation.
is.
Yeah, it's a violation, man. It's all wrong.
It's an abomination.
Yeah, it's an abomination of an abomination. This place is so evil. It's beyond human comprehension how bad this world is. People have no idea where they are. You
And the
know,
more
so
you
there's something.
study it, the more you find truth. It's only negative, bad things. It's like any
Yeah,
truth is never a good, it's never a good thing here. Any truth here. Oh, the billionaires kidnapped the kids to take them to the island to give them great educations. No, like any truth you find here is it's always negative. And it usually comes with pain too. I've also noticed that.
Yeah, that's the key ingredient to this life is pain and suffering. No one can avoid it.
Yeah, it's inevitable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
they.
what I was trying to say was, yeah, labels can really hinder unification, and I can see philosophy vids, his points, and he had his own experiences, and he's naming this a different thing, and I say devil a lot. I don't necessarily mean. I just mean
The devil from above.
evil. Yeah, I just mean evil incarnate that is controlling and ruling this place.
That's exactly what I encountered, though. Evil, evil incarnate that is
Exactly.
controlling.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you have a name for it. I have a name for it. Everyone has a name for it, and we have our
Yeah,
own.
I don't have a
personal
problem
experience.
if people come to their own conclusions about things. I'm relaying what I experienced. You can have your own view on it.
Yeah, and even though I don't agree with everything everyone says, I mean, you included, and I'm sure Bliss and I'm sure Ronan, like we all have things we agree and disagree on. But I think it's great that we're able to share that, and we can glean truths from what we share, even if we disagree on certain things. So that's just my opinion.
I agree with that, which is why these are difficult to come by. Um, I mean, do you know how rare this is right now?
Yeah.
This is extremely rare conversation.
Yeah, it is. And also I've noticed that people don't like to hear opposing arguments or ideas, and they like take over the stream and they'll kick people out because they don't agree with them. But I don't think that's helpful. I think we need to all hear and come within ourselves the truth and be able to share that regardless of what other people think.
I mean, we're all saying the same thing, essentially. We've all come to the same conclusions when you really break it down. I mean, this place is like what Blissfully Ignorant just said. It's an abomination. It is controlled by evil. It is an evil realm filled with suffering. So having established that, then you can begin to ask the other questions of why is it that way? Well, it's probably that way because it was designed to be that way. And I think most of us, based on our own life experiences, the things we've individually been through, there isn't too many good experiences in this place. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, until more information comes along that, this is actually a good place. It's a benevolent place. Until that comes along to deny what I'm saying, what we're saying is true, essentially. I mean, this is not a good place. This is a very dark realm. And I don't want to be too much of a downer, but that's That's just the facts.
You're being a realist.
Yeah,
It's okay.
No, that's
yeah,
real.
you're not being a
Yeah.
you're not being a are you a pessimist? No, I'm just joking. I know you're a realist. You see, this place is inherently evil, objectively. It's not subjective, it's objectively evil. But yet there's something off about this world and that no one talks about. It's the matrix. It's a hell simulation. It's an illusion. Yet we are suffering, and the suffering is real. Yet it's pointless because it's not like we are suffering for some reward, because the end result is death of the body. You
We're
see,
just
how
we're
is
just
it
loosh
that,
batteries for these fucking devils, pretty much. They just set up
yeah,
they constantly set up these events, and it's masqueraded on the world stage as, oh, humans are doing bad things again, but that's not how it works, because us, meaning people like us, we're not doing any of this. We're not the ones creating like strife and evil and horror. But from behind the scenes, you know, this illusion that's presented to us, this force that I'm talking about is constantly orchestrating and setting up all this shit. And this is what they don't want people to know. They don't want to know that this is going on. They don't want to know. They are constantly trying to manipulate people like us into those states of being, because that's all this place is. I mean, fuck this place. I'm being completely honest.
Fuck this place. Yeah, I agree with that. See, we often
yeah,
come together under the umbrella of fuck this place.
Should make that a t-shirt.
yeah.
Fuck this place. With a picture of planet
You
Earth.
see, like many, like in the antinatalist community, many people are atheists, right? So they don't really believe. They believe like when you die, that's it. But that's a problem because from my experience is that non-existence is not possible. It's seen as a code. And you see, so how is it that you can come from nothing into something just to go back to nothing? It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So there's the thing is, um, the experiences I had, I can tell you that we are in very deep shit. We are in very, very deep shit. Okay? It's not like people would think that we are Gnostics, Gnosticism. But even that is a belief system. Because what I know by to date, it doesn't have any name to it. Because it's like something happened. It's how is it that we end up in a place that we don't know squat? We don't know where we come from. We don't know what this place is, and nobody knows anything. Isn't it like a weird shift? You know what I mean? So we can only speak about what we experience ourselves, and the fact that I know that I'm not a body, I can tell you for sure that, and I've also experienced these entities, like philosophy but said, on 2 occasions, back in 2011 and 2016. Okay, I did die and I came back. So I can tell you for sure, unless you're a bot, an NPC, that you are not the body. The body is set as a governor for your consciousness. It's a container. These entities, these beings, which we cannot see, they are containing us. They are suppressing us and dumbing us down. So that's what I'm saying. It's almost like this creation is not of a all-loving God or entity. This is an action of fear, a fear of us. I'm telling you, this world was created for real souls to be imprisoned. Because think about this, right? When you die, you leave the body, okay? The body, I see the body as a cage for the wild beast. So when a wild beast is unleashed, they quickly throw the love bomb. Why do you think that is? Don't you think they're scared?
Yeah, exactly. The love bomb
Why?
is a
Yeah,
great tool, manipulation, even in this world. People do it to us all the time, and we blindly believe it because of our own good nature. We don't think of someone love bombing you as a means of deception, because in our hearts that's a good thing. But we can't understand the manipulation behind it until we have the perception awareness, like philosophy was saying. Like once you are able to perceive different things, you are more aware of the possibilities. So yeah, I've been love bombed a lot in my life, just in this human life. But then I realized, damn, I've been love bombed from the spiritual life my whole life until I had to break out of that. It's the trauma bond that I talk about, the spiritual trauma bond that keeps you blindly believing that these things love you. Just keep suffering through it.
Yeah, so how is it that we when we're down here in this hellish simulation, we're going through all this shit, and then when we leave the body, then it's all about love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
No,
all, love. It's love is all
you
there
better be
is. Just
apologizing to me.
get the hell back in that meat suit and suffer because we love you. It's just that it's despicable the more I think about it.
It's all
I
about
can't imagine what
it's all
they're gonna
about
throw
love.
at us.
They're
I
containing
can't
us.
imagine what we're going to see.
Whatever
It'll
they're
be
gonna throw
interesting.
at us. Well, apparently it worked last time because we're back here. Unfortunately,
Yeah. Don't say that, man. Don't say that.
it's
Give
the
me
honest
hope.
truth. So I think it's safe to say we fell for it.
Well, maybe we weren't consciously aware
That's true. That's what I'm
until this
saying.
time.
That's what I'm saying. We need to become aware of what's going on, and then we
Yeah,
have a fighting chance when
it,
Buddha or Jesus or whoever, the wise master comes up to you saying, "It's not your time. Just follow me through this doorway," and then you go through the doorway, and then bam, you're back in the body. Fuck.
Yeah, you see, philosophy bits, there's no free will in this realm. That's a scripted reality. So if one say they awakened, what do they mean? You know what I mean? So
Mm,
it all depends on your level of awareness. It's not like you, how can I say? It's like the script, this is how I see it, right? When these beings imprison us, they pre-programmed our brains how our lives will play out from birth to death. That's why I'm saying there's no free will here. There's no free will. Yet we are being gaslighted,
yep, I agree with that. I don't think we have free will. That's very
speaking
obvious.
about talking about
Even science says we don't have free will. If you want to even go the science route.
So do you guys, I mean, one theory I've discussed a little bit on my channel is the idea that what is called mind is essentially the equivalent of an astral AI program that is running. Like the mind chatter in a lot of our behaviors. I don't know if you've considered this, but one of the things I've thought about, and people, I think David Icke has probably gone into this too, is that so this AI shit that came out of nowhere around 2020 that's just taking over everything. Actually, this has been running this simulation the entire time. Got a helicopter hovering outside. And the mind, what we're calling the mind, is essentially, I don't know if AI is the right word, but I think it's an adequate term. It's just a perception program, like a software program. And it was designed to prevent people from getting to this level. So you can potentially override what we call mind, but it's really hard because it's running a life script. Like it is all scripted for sure.
Well, that's one of the things that gives me confidence in traversing the afterlife is because I realize that everything here is fake. It gets all scripted. My whole life has been scripted. So why the hell would I ever be manipulated back into following a fake world and a despicable, ugly abomination? Like I'm at the point of awareness where nothing they can do or say is going to convince me otherwise.
Exactly.
And breaking away the attachments that hold that trauma bond to it is very vital, because if you have these attachments, it's bad, but there's some good things about it, they're going to use that to manipulate you somehow in some way. Like these are the smartest, most intelligent, above our awareness, okay, not more than us, but at our level of awareness, they know way more than we do. They know more about us than we know about ourselves, because they've been watching and
that's why
doing things to us to see how we react, see what triggers
Absolutely.
us.
I mean, they know more. They know exactly what's going on here, and they have complete knowledge of what this is, and they hide that from us. One of the things I think I might have mentioned this to you, Joshua. One of the things these entities said when I was going back through those emails, which I haven't looked at in years, was that he acknowledged the facts that our mind is wiped. And I have the email. I'll just read it right here. It's pretty disturbing. But one of the things he said in this paragraph, I'll just read it word for word. So this is what one of these or what I'm alleging are entities. Again, anybody who's listening, you can believe what you want. But this is what he said. Humans have a mechanism built in. Reincarnation takes the form of having your hard drive wiped at birth. If this were not so, at the moment of birth, your very first breath would be begging to be euthanized, remembering 500,000 years of horror, PTSD in the worst possible way. That is a direct quote from what one of these entities said. So you can believe whether this person is or isn't who I'm saying, but that is a very disturbing statement. I mean, he's essentially acknowledging not only is it wiped, but it's wiped so that we don't remember all the horrible shit we've been through, which is fucking crazy. I mean, that's disturbing. I thought I'd just throw that in there since we're on this topic.
I mean, maybe that's why babies come into the world
they
screaming and crying, because they're like, fuck, all these memories coming back to me. Fuck this place.
Yeah.
And then we get
Think
brainwashed
about
and it all fades away.
They
whatever
can.
the entity is, like, that's truthful, because New Age will say, oh, you don't remember your last life because it'd be too much and blah blah, all the gaslighting they want to say to you. But that statement alone, yes, if you did remember all your past lives, it would be tremendously insufferable to you, and you would know, fuck this place, so they have to wipe it
you
out.
would have, your consciousness would have instantly elevated. Like you would have all that knowledge, all that. Yeah.
Yeah, so but I do believe you can regain your memories of your past lives and how it all began. Like I said, it's hidden in your subconsciousness. But like they split our consciousness in three parts. Then our brain is being used as a governor, and we've been dumbed down like crazy. I'm telling you. So that's why they quickly come and love bomb us when we leave the body, because they don't want us to remember. You are your memories. Think about it. If I erase your memories, you're not the same person anymore.
Do you think that love bomb is it must be an artificial love sensation, because these beings are not, they're anything but loving. So my understanding is, yeah, there probably is some love, something like love that exists beyond this place, but they're mimicking it. They can mimic that sensation through frequencies, through different manipulation means, because it just seems, I find it hard to believe like pure evil beings can even be capable of actual love. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that because all these
near death? In my books, that it's a hard pill to swallow, but in my books, that love don't exist. It's
You
a
just said
drug.
what I was gonna say. Yeah, I don't think love exists in this reality. It's just
it's
an
a drug.
attachment. It's a drug. Yeah.
So what we feel is that feelings of high emotions. It's something that they created to entrap souls, because love is the strongest drug in the universe, believe it or not. And that's the drug that they use. So that's why they sent us into the simulation, to get us attached to family members and friends and pets, so that when we do die, they send out that same person we made ourselves attached to, along with the love drug, to get us back in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've recently came to that conclusion, like literally this week. I was like, wow, love does not exist here. Now, I don't. It may exist, like the concept of it. It may exist somewhere else outside of here. I'm still open to that possibility. But what we call love here is not actual love, and I don't even. Yeah,
it's fake.
Yeah,
it's
You see what
again. It's been hijacked.
I think love in this realm is like an emotion. You know,
Yeah.
it's not. It's hard to
but
put.
love,
It's hard to describe it, like what we're
love,
thinking of. But love, love backwards is evil, right? So that evil is manipulating
Evil.
us into these feelings. And they say feelings aren't facts. So
Yeah, so sorry, no?
I think for me, what love is like an action. Like no matter what is going on around you, you're choosing to do the right thing at that time. And it could look like the opposite of love, because for most people they think love's an emotion when it's not a love. It's not. I think for me it's like I want the best for you regardless of how I feel
Joshua,
about it.
just a heads up. I don't know if you saw in the private chat, the Truth TV has been trying to get in. I don't know if you
Is he?
For a while, like 20 minutes ago.
Oops.
No, that's fine.
All right,
He's
yeah.
coming
Sorry.
after you, bro.
You can try to join
Yeah,
now.
so what we desire is freedom. I desire freedom. And it's not like when I say love don't exist. It's like what do exist is mutual respect and to care for someone. But to care for someone is nothing to do with love. You know what I mean? So it is a hard pill to swallow, and I came to this conclusion many years ago that we've been indoctrinated so heavily that we should think that love means something, but it's something that they created as an emotion to entrap souls.
Even go surface
I know it's
level.
great.
Even go surface level. It's like, why are you even think of the whole basis of even sexual attraction to the opposite gender? What is the purpose of that?
Oh yeah, I
You
was about
know,
to say that.
to lead to reproduction. It's like the only, and not only
Exactly.
that, but you
It's
can't
not
even control that. Like, you can't control what you're attracted to, right?
exactly that's what they're gonna do when you leave the body. I mean, they might not even try with us because we can't be fooled. Yeah, so we won't be fooled when we leave here. But like Ronan said, when you look at the opposite sex and you feel that attraction, it's not love. It's a chemistry you feel. It's an emotion, and high emotions are deceitful. You don't think clearly with your mind. You make mistakes when you go on a high. When you fall in love. Oh, I'm falling in
That is so
love. I
true.
need to chase love. I need to chase love.
It's like a counterfeit, essentially. That's
Yeah,
how
and
I
love
feel
will make you do things that are completely insane. And you look back, you're like, why the hell did I do that? Because
Yeah,
I
you're
was
not
in
you
love.
anymore. You can almost be in a different person. You're
Exactly.
literally in a different space of being almost.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I
you
think
go in a trance. You go in a
establish
trance, literally.
like sexual attraction is not love. I think that's pretty clear. But I don't know. I kind of look at it like it's similar to a counterfeit of what love is. Because how do a lot of relationships end? They end in hatred. So
Yeah,
if
exactly.
that's what it was, if you were actually in love with this person, like unconditional love, why do you guys hate each other now?
That wouldn't even be possible.
Exactly. So it's not that. It's definitely not. It's I don't know. I use the term counterfeit a lot, but that's how it seems to me anyway.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times, love can be defined as what can I get out of you that will make me happy, and if you stop making
That's
me happy,
transactional.
Oh, think about every relationship is just two people getting things out of each other.
yeah,
It's just two people
Exactly.
grooming each other to fulfill their needs that
You know
they
what it is?
themselves can't even control.
It's like, think about this. Relationships usually don't work out, right? I mean, look at the global or the world stats, that statistics, that 50% of people divorce, couples. So that just goes to show you that's why where's this love? If it was so powerful, so there's no such thing as unconditional love. Everything is transactional.
Yep.
Why?
Every single thing is transactional. Everything.
Transactional. So people settling on each other because they can't get anything else. That's why they stay together. You hear of these couples that've been together like 30, 40, 50 years because they're settling on each other, or they just gotten used to each other. And they say if they leave the person because they've grown out of love with that person. That's why I don't get why people marry. I don't get it. Because within a 2/5, after about a year or 2 years, then you don't feel the same about that person, that chemistry, that attraction. You lose that attraction for that person. That's why people cheat. If that wasn't the case, no one would have cheated. Why do you think people cheat? Because they lose attraction. It's nothing to do with love. Love is a fucking drug. You know what I mean? So
Oh yeah.
this whole world is upside down. We've been indoctrinated to think that love means something. Look at religion, right? Christianity. That it says that in the Bible, it says that God is love. So we've been infused deep down in our subconscious mind to think that love means something. But it doesn't. It doesn't. It's all just transactional. It's looks and what you have. It's all about money. And people lose attraction for one another after 2 years. And that's why they cheat. You know, this whole world is upside down.
Yeah, I think it's for Loosh. I think it's for attachment and then ultimately for children. So I think those three things,
Yeah,
mainly
and
why that's even here. It's
I
to
know for
get you to do
Yeah.
certain things.
I know for certain that these entities, they match us up with certain people in order to get maximum loosh out of us. I mean, think about if you've
Oh
had
my
relationships,
gosh.
if you've had relationships in the past, think about how
Ooh.
fucked up it made you, or all the loosh extraction that came out of that. Even the good things. I mean, you know what I mean? Even the good things. I mean, it's just you get lost in it. You get lost in your own little world and you stop caring about things outside of that. And then the breaking away happens, or they abuse you or do something. And it's, I know that these things are orchestrated from above in a lot of certain situations, because
What if it's
something,
just like the AI life program is just synchronizing two body programs together, and you think, oh, that's me doing that. No, it's not you doing that. You're just the spectator watching the shit show.
true, but I mean, in my personal life, I've had things happen where it was not natural for me and this person to be together, and how we met was super unnatural. Like it was scripted, and something in me that wasn't me wanted me to be with that person, or in those
Mm.
friend groups, or in those social situations. And deep down, I knew, like, why am I doing this? But I kept going along with it, knowing it was wrong.
That's why I steer clear of a lot of people, because there's just not that much good that comes out of conversing with people. And I know that, this can sound selfish, but I'm just sort of done like faking.
We have to be selfish.
We always have people like us. We always have around everybody. We have to put on an act that we don't know
Yep.
this stuff, and we have to play along with their little game.
It's
It's like
exhausting.
It's frustrating.
it's like we know what the joke is, and they think we don't, but we do. And it's like I just can't do that anymore. So it's like I
And
just
you're seen as crazy. You're the odd one. You're the weird one. It's
You're
like,
fucked
no,
up.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
seeing reality objectively.
the fact,
almost gaslighting us.
I can't even imagine being some of these people. The fact that they don't question what this is at all. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah,
I
there's
don't want
something
to like,
off about this world, and it's the Matrix.
yeah. And you can say they're NPCs, you can say that, I mean, they might be, but whatever the case may be, they're just they do not see this world the way we do. They don't see anything wrong with it. It's like, this is just life. It's like, what do you mean this is just life? Like how
Yeah,
are
well, I consider someone an NPC who doesn't think outside of their mental programmings. I mean, they could be like a real spirit within, but they're still an NPC because they're not allowing their spirit to come forth, and they're just following the mind programs that dictate, I'm a human. This is what humans do. This is my society, my culture. This is what I'm supposed to believe in. This is what I'm supposed to find valuable. No, I can't even imagine not wanting to live this life. I'm here. I must have kids, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, because that's all they know. They don't know anything else. You know what I mean? But you don't have to have an out-of-body experience or like philosophy that's encountered these entities to actually, to know that something is off about this world. Because if you just look at this world for what it is, then you can see that there's something not right here. It's like it's a slave planet. backwards like species. They're doing the same thing every day and think this is normal. Nothing to show for, turning slowly in an old person and fucking die. I mean, how is that life? That's not life. If you have to slave for money every day, paying the bills, it's depressing. You know what I mean? And then
Very,
you've got
yeah.
to deal
Oh
with
yeah.
And then you got other people who kind of see the evil of this place, and they get deceived into thinking there's some savior going to come fix everything. So they just hold on to that.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge.
Whether it's a religious entity or a political entity, or or even like finding a relationship to fix you, like it's all the same.
Even they think life is going to get better.
Yeah.
That's just that alone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
how's life going to get better? The only thing that's getting better is technology and medicine. So I've looked at it this way, right? Many people look with their physical eyes, but I look with the mind's eye, meaning you can imagine if you put two and two together and everything that you've experienced so far, and you truly see this world for what it is, and you realize that this world is being run by otherworldly beings which we cannot see, and I've encountered them twice. But okay, so and I can tell you that they've got something up their sleeves. How come people come and they go, they die off, but the technology and medicine keeps on getting better and better? Don't you think they've got an agenda within the simulation? Don't you think is that they want to trap consciousness forever?
That's
We're
that's
heading that way.
exactly. Sorry to cut you off. Keep going.
No problem. You can go.
Oh, okay. What you just said is pretty much some of the conclusions I've arrived at. And I made a video the other day how I think ultimately they, like you said, they're either trying to entrap us in here indefinitely, meaning consciousness, they do not want entrapped awareness to get out ever, or they are literally trying to assimilate our awareness into their own. And I know how crazy that sounds, but if you've seen like Star Trek, that's pretty much
Borg.
the Borg. They're like the fallen, whatever you want to call them, fallen angels, whatever. They're like the fucking Borg in Star Trek. And this AI, we don't really know what type of nanotech is going everywhere. I think all along this place has been controlled by a form of AI. And what we're seeing now, kind of like where people can see that this force is all of a sudden controlling like every aspect of human society. Well, what if that has been controlling it all along, and it's in response to consciousness getting out? Meaning they essentially want to control whether we get out of here through the control of information and perception. And it's being done through a form of AI connection to the human mind. It is like an assimilation or an indefinite entrapment. I think ultimately that is what if people want what the final conspiracy is, it is they want to give humans their mind. They want us to either not get out or to absorb our consciousness. I know how messed up that sounds, but clearly we're not at that point right now if we're even having this discussion. So
yeah. Hey guys, I'll be right back. Give me a few minutes, but you can keep talking.
yeah, I gotta hop off in like 5-10 minutes. So
Okay, I'll be right back.
all right. What do you think about that? Blissfully ignorant. Do you think there's some sort of an assimilation going on, or do you think it's just they just want to feed off of our energy?
Yeah, no, what they want to do is they want to entrap us. So they don't want us to escape. That's the thing. So within assimilation, they want to build technology to entrap awareness or consciousness, if you will, that it cannot experience death, because death at this moment is our escape from this prison body, this cage. So what they do is they want to engineer cyborg bodies and entrap consciousness in there. That's just my theory. If you look in the future, because I can look in the future and I can see the technology, that's where the world is heading at. heading to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that actually makes sense. And I think that's that's essentially what transhumanism is. It's this fusion. But that is a good point. I haven't really thought about it in that terms. What if at some point, through coming back in here over and over, our consciousness
Yes,
is entrapped in some sort of a new body that doesn't die, and
doesn't
we
die.
are here forever.
Look at the agenda. Don't look at the now, what they do and what they say. Also look at where the world is heading towards, in the future. So I can tell you the simulation is not ending anytime soon, as many suggest. I was hoping that it would, but unfortunately, according to my research, that this round, this simulation, whatever you want to call it, was designed to instruct souls for all eternity. So this is where the world is heading at, and that's why I said that we're on deeper shit than we know. That they want to instruct consciousness forever. That they don't want us to die because death is our escape.
That's that's pretty much
Mm.
exactly what my research has come to as well. I mean, what you can think of this as also is, what is this simulation? I mean, it is sort of a fallen state of awareness, and our awareness has been lowered into this state of being, or this frequency band, wherein, I mean, this is let's just say what you're saying is true, blissfully ignorant. They're trying to entrap us in here indefinitely. So what that means is they're trying to entrap us within their fallen state. So they are essentially eternally separated from outside of this simulation, and they want us to be that way as well. That's how it would seem to me.
Yeah, they don't want us to escape. That's the point. Because I think we pose a threat. They are scared of us.
And they themselves are eternally trapped in this state. Pretty much. I mean, they're not getting out of this. But because they know that, hence they need outside energy and the entrapment of our awareness from outside of the simulation within here. That's kind of what I've concluded. I mean, they are disconnected from whatever lies beyond this place, whether you want to call it infinity, whatever it is. There is something beyond this place. They're disconnected from that. They need energy because they cannot gain energetic sustenance from a similar state of awareness. Meaning, entities that are so evil, they engage in stuff like human sacrifice. They do not experience emotions in the same way as somebody like us would. So to them, they just look at us as a battery. That is essentially kind of what my research has led to. And like you said, they don't want us to get out. They need energetic sustenance.
Yeah, you're talking about loose, that they can, take
Yes.
our loose. But the thing is, whatever you want to call it, like energetic food or lower vibrational energy or loose in that sense. But I think that's the symptom, to be honest, because I believe that we've been in prison for another reason. Loose is the symptom. These entities that imprison us is not the ones taking our energy. I think that's the AI to power this quantum computer, because we are in the quantum computer as we speak. We are not in this world, because that's why I'm saying this world is an illusion. We are plugged in somewhere else.
What if the AI is taking them over rather than they are using the AI? Like, we assume AI is like being used as a tool by this force, but what if it's actually the inverse? What if they are
the
being
AI.
controlled by the AI? It's possible.
Yeah, like the movie Matrix. Like that, it's the AI itself that imprisoned us. But that's the thing, that how can it be? Look, there are a lot of truth in the movie, the Matrix movies, but it's not like, I wouldn't say, it's like only maybe 50% of the information that we've seen through the Matrix movies. can be, assessed as truth, because what's going on, we can realize that this is a simulation. But the AI is not the one that imprisoned us. It's beings, it's otherworldly beings that we do not understand. We don't know who or what they are. Like you said, you can call them archons, you can call them devils or Satan, but that's irrelevant. We don't know what they are, but we do know they are there, and they are the ones controlling the show. And they are the ones that engineered the AI and to make this all things automated, this recycling process. So that's my theory. And how is it that we got in this mess in the first place? If we were, like you stated the other day, I don't know if you believe in a God or a source, but if we originated from source, right, then where is the source? Where is this God? Why did he abandon us? Yet the simulation has been going on for how long, and we're just suffering, and no one is coming to our aid. We're just down here suffering. You know what I mean? So my conclusion is that how it all began is that there is no God, there is no source. It's only us, and it's these entities that imprison us. And if you put 10 and 2 together, then you realize that we could have been an experiment gone wrong, that they created us by mistake and enslaved us because we pose a threat to our makers.
So if they created us,
Yeah, that goes
why
back
aren't
to
we?
the Anunnaki type editing type stuff.
Yeah, and Genesis
Yeah,
too. It's all about gene manipulation in that.
So if they
I could see
created
this
us,
being an
why aren't
experiment.
we
I've
like
I've
them?
thought about that too.
I don't know if you heard my question.
What's your question?
If they
sorry, just
created us, how are we not like them? Why are we different? If they directly created us, meaning that state of awareness created us, why are we not that level of psychopathy? I have to hop off in like 1 minute, so I just thought I'd say.
Well, thanks for joining and sharing your experiences and whatnot. It's been a pleasure.
Yep, thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Joshua.
Yeah, so you're making interesting videos, I must say. But you see, if we had no beginning, we wouldn't have been here in this trap in the first place. Think about it. How stupid must you be to fall for such a trap like this? You know what I mean? To be plugged into a simulation. It's almost like Gnosticism. Believe that we created some sort of AI and we got sucked in somehow. It enslaved us and it's taking our loot. But how can that be? How can we be so stupid? For how is it that an AI can have the ability to erase our memories and to imprison us? We wouldn't allow that because we are stronger beings than them, than the AI. The only conclusion is that we had a beginning, and that's why we are. We are here in this hellish reality, suffering, so because we had a beginning. If we had no beginning, we wouldn't have been here. We wouldn't have fallen for this.
Yeah, I can see that.
Good points.
Especially since we're a hybridized being, like we're half animal, half higher intelligence, because animals can't come to this level of awareness. They are exactly what they are. They can't self-reflect. But we have been implanted with the knowledge of ascending that state, which that might be why they're afraid of us. As in other animals, they kind of just let them do what they need to for loose purposes. But yeah, like we're half animal, half whatever they are, possibly, if that's going along with what you're saying. And they don't have the animal desires that we have. So they're like in an untouchable realm where we're basically battling our own animal nature.
Yeah, you see, I think where they are now is the real world, but we don't know what the real world looks like. But this could be a copy of the real world. You know what I mean? where these
Yeah.
beings are, which you know, that created this whole recycling process and assimilation and this AI. So that's the real world. But now we are not in a real world, because for something to be real, it must last forever. Because just look at this place. You're born and you die. You're born and you die. It's death. It ends in death. You know what I mean? So just one big illusion. But
Yeah,
that's the real world. So
something I've thought about is these beings could actually be here with us just outside of this sphere, because there's theories about other lands and whatnot, and in this realm it has certain things that are at play, but outside of this realm it's the real world. And then when we die, there's some kind of AI that recycles us back in here so that we can never reach the outside world.
exactly. Because what we see is when you leave the body, there's all these holographic images of your grandmother. You know, like that video you made, your grandmother and your dad and your two brothers and your pet, your dog or whatever. That's all fake. That's the AI projecting images. And they also have the ability to communicate by telepathy. Because we don't have, like I said, you don't necessarily have any form. You're kind of like shapeless, you know, like a ball of awareness. You don't have a mouth, you don't have ears, you don't have a head, you don't have a torso, you don't have legs, but yet you've got 360 vision, and you can you know, communicate by telepathy. We're telepathic. I can, you know, that's what happened. That's what I did when I left my body. So with 360 vision. So we are being dumbed down while we're in the body, you know.
For
So we
sure.
don't know what the real world looks like, for real. And we've been deceived, so, you know, a deception upon deception.
Yeah, I've also thought about you know, we get the idea of God from the religious perspective, but these things could just be like us, but they're in control of our environment, so they have the perception of being higher than us. And then we believe in the illusion and the all the indoctrination, and you know, lifetime after lifetime we lose sight of why we even came here in the first place. And there could be good beings outside of this place that don't know about us being in here because they're not God. You know what I mean? They just don't have
Yeah.
the awareness this is going on.
If
Just like if some
think
mad
about this.
scientist had all this locked in his basement, the neighbor might not
Yeah,
even know we're down here.
exactly. Think about this, Joshua. If there was a God, right? If there was a source, what are we doing here? You know, so isn't it that source would have done something by now? You know, shut this place down. This because this whole realm is a abomination. It's evil. So that's why I can tell you there are no good beings out there, unless there might be, like you said, but they can't do anything about this.
Yeah, it means
God, they can't.
they either don't know, they don't care, or they can't. They're not able to help. So essentially,
Yeah,
they're
they're not able
useless
to
to
help.
us.
They're not able to help. But here's the thing, right? These beings that imprison us, they are beings lesser than us. You know what I mean? They themselves are not powerful. They literally use technology to enslave us in the simulation, in the recycling process. But they themselves are beings lesser than us. We are more powerful than them. We are more powerful than the creators. We just feel weak because we have been imprisoned in these bodies that are high maintenance and that are weak. You know, these bodies are very weak actually.
Totally
But
agree.
we are not these, you know, we are not these bodies.
Yeah, I mean,
So, yeah,
like people said
atheists will
before,
disagree with
they
us.
wouldn't have gone through all this trouble if they knew we were so weak.
Yeah. And look at all the effort they put in to control us. Why is it that we find ourselves in a realm of deception? That our parents, as soon as we're born, our parents indoctrinate us with religion, which is a fucking lie. You know what I mean? If we were truly trapped forever, then these beings wouldn't have cared to use deception in order to entrap us. You know, they would have taken us by force and thrown us back in. But that's clearly not the case.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what do you think? How it all began and where we come from and how we ended up here in the first place?
Well, there's so many different scenarios that went down
Theories.
in my mind. Yeah, theories. I mean, but
What do you
one
Only
thing.
one
currently think?
makes sense.
What's that?
What do you think, Ronan?
Yeah, what do you currently think right now?
Me?
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't know. I can't tell you
Well,
that.
you lean towards something, man. We
But
all lean towards something.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, go ahead.
Okay, there's only basically one theory that makes sense, but it's a hard pill to swallow that not many can accept, which I can understand. So, and obviously atheists will disagree with us, you know, they'll think we're crazy. But like I said, if we had a beginning, we wouldn't have been here. We wouldn't have fallen for this trap. You know what I mean? So that's why I say that we had most likely a possibility of that we had a beginning, that they created us by mistake as an experiment and they enslaved us. How is it that they know everything about us? How is it that they have the ability to suppress our memories and all these? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How the fuck,
I
you
mean,
know?
I can definitely see that. It's just like when you go to the zoo and you look into a cage, those animals aren't necessarily aware of who the fuck you are and like how they were manipulated into that being, especially if you were born in that environment. That's all you know. And lifetime after lifetime, new babies are coming in here, taken further and further and further away from that truth. And it talks about that in Genesis in the Bible. Like certain people interpret that as genetic manipulation in creating a certain species of human, which is us. And Anunnaki, they say like we're a slave race. So I mean, there are these tangible evidences of that being true.
Yeah, but it's not the story of the Anunnaki, because the Anunnaki created a slave race to mine gold on Earth as a planet. But space is fake, remember, because this is a simulation. It's not real. It's
Yeah,
a fake reality.
but it could just mean
So it's
aliens from
not,
outside of our realm, like beyond wherever they come from.
yeah.
And the gold, I've heard people say the gold is the louche they mine from us. It's just been inverted and perverted and all that. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just saying.
Maybe we the gold.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah, yeah.
our essence is the
Maybe we
gold
the
that we're
gold.
mining, and that's the louche, basically.
The loose, yeah.
We are the
But
food.
think about this, right? The food, because we're not top of the food chain. They're eating us. I think this is AI. How is it that these entities that needs to feed in order to stay alive have the ability to imprison gods unless they created us? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Josh?
Yep.
Runner?
it's like an animal farm, and we are the
Yeah.
cattle. They even call us
If,
cattle.
yeah, but while we're in the body, yeah, but while we're outside of the body, like then we realize that you don't die, the body dies. So coming to the conclusion that we are eternal, yet how come these beings that are lesser than us that need to feed in order to stay alive have the ability to imprison gods lest they created us? That's my point. So that's what I'm saying. That's the theory that makes the most sense, that we had a beginning.
So how would
Yet
we be
eternal.
greater than them if they created us, in your opinion?
Okay, so my theory is that they created us by mistake, and they enslaved us because we pose a threat to our makers. We are much more powerful than they are. It is possible to create something that is much more powerful than yourself. That's what I'm saying.
True.
Yeah, just like your kid could be way better than you at XYZ, or he can, way outperform the parents in certain things for you to think about it practically. I could see that.
And maybe that's why they hate us so much, because they're jealous. They're like, fuck, we created something
Yeah.
greater than we are. Let's make sure their life is miserable and sufferable and the most suffering possible, because we're jealous of these lesser beings, like lesser. We're lesser than them. How could we be greater?
Yeah, it's something that needs to be contained. We are something that needs to be contained. Otherwise, this world wouldn't have existed. But like I said, this world was created for real souls to be contained because we pose a threat to these beings. But yet, most of the people in the soul trap community think it's all about loosh. But loosh is only the symptom. There's a greater cause why we got imprisoned.
Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, because if you have an enemy, they want to imprison the strongest opponents. And if they can't kill them, they have to keep them down and degraded and confused and in a perceptual
with
confusion
amnesia.
realm. Yeah. And if we were to escape, we would fucking bite the hand that feeds, so to say.
Yeah, so many people talk about source, that source is all powerful, the one true God outside of this whole matrix. But yet I don't see this God in saving us or shutting this place down. If we truly came from source. Or what is that Sophia, that created the demiurge? And the demiurge created this world and entrapped the essence that came from Sophia.
What about it?
Yeah, Gnosticism.
Gnosticism, yeah. So that's also not it. I mean, that's not a belief that actually makes sense, because
Yeah, that doesn't
it
jive.
makes
That doesn't
sense
jive with me at all. But it could be a
Yeah.
metaphor in some way. But yeah.
So the demiurge, but if the demiurge created this world, then what is above the demiurge? Source or Sophia. So where's the Sophia? Where's Source? Where's God? Why isn't he or she shutting this, doing something about this, destroying the fuck out of this world, because this world is an abomination. It's an absolute abomination. The inequality and the loneliness, the suffering, the disease, the death, blood and guts, going around and around and around. It's like a snake eating its own tail, life feeding on life. Yet for thousands of years and nothing is happening. There is no fucking God. There is no source. So it's not even Gnosticism. It's not Anunnaki. It's not any mainstream belief narrative, which I agree on, but it's something else. So my theory is that our makers enslaved us because we posed a threat. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Oh yeah, and that's
It's
why you
just
have
weird.
all these people who've
That
sold
makes
out.
sense, man.
They've sold us all out, even if they are human, so to say. They've still sold us out in order to get their little goods, and they've, like all the secret societies, they may have realized this and decided to work with them because that was all the hope they had, and here we are. It's like they live, like you have actual humans like us, possibly, that discovered the truth through these secret organizations, and they said, "Sign me up." I want to live a good life, so I'll sell out everyone else.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. This life is weird, man. It's a weird trip. Like once you come to the realization that we've been lied to, you know, about everything, and that you start to question your own existence, it's like a weird trip. You're done realizing that you don't know anything. You search for the truth, you know. And so it's how
Yeah,
can I say? It's like,
that's the key thing that helped me was I don't know shit. I think I know stuff, but I don't. So I'm gonna deprogram and just like go where the truth leads me, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it totally shatters what I thought of reality. And that's how I've gotten to where I am. And I accept any
But you have,
hypothesis, any ideas from other people because I know I don't have the full truth, and they may be able to tell me something I don't know.
yeah,
People who,
if you look at all these beliefs that you have to come to, but like you said, Joshua, like you're keeping an open mind to new theories. You know, so otherwise, if you don't look at new theories, we would never get the whole truth, the bigger picture. We need the bigger picture. We need to know what the fuck is going on here. So, like I said, the only theory that makes sense is that we had a beginning. Because if we had no beginning, we wouldn't have fallen for this. We wouldn't have been so stupid or so dumb to fall for this hellish reality, you know, being enslaved in a simulation.
okay, here's another theory I've been thinking about. Okay, so in the ancient past, so to say, life was more in tune with higher consciousness. You know, you've seen all the ancient, can't think of the right word, Atlantis and things like that, and even the older buildings that we can no longer build. So possibly this place might have been some sort of paradise to lure us in here. And once we got in here, it slowly started degrading and degrading and degrading more and more and more. And then reset after reset, we totally fucking lost the memory of that. And now
Oh, I
we're
see
just
what you mean.
trapped.
Do you mean it got like hijacked? Because many people believe that this reality
No,
got
no, no,
hijacked.
not hijacked. It was intentionally that way. Like a
Oh.
stranger luring someone in with candy. They saw the candy, they came in, and then didn't realize that it was a trap. And it was good, and it degraded more and more and more over time. Because you have all these ancient civilizations that were much more advanced than us. I mean, there's no question about that. It's just a theory.
Yeah, that's another interesting theory. But if you look at animals, you know, they're eating each other. Do you think they didn't eat each other, let's say 10,000 years ago? Well, that's what I'm saying. This world, that it's evil at its core.
and
It
then
was designed to be evil.
if you even go back to being tricked, like that's not consent. So to say
Yeah,
you were
exactly.
deceived means, again, there's no consent there. So if you're a being that's even able to be tricked, then that means that you didn't
Yeah,
have consent in that moment, which means you were captured, you were trapped. So even
Yeah,
that
that's
statement, being tricked, means that you weren't consenting. You didn't have full knowledge, because if you had full knowledge, you
yeah,
wouldn't make that decision. So
exactly.
either way,
Like
it's
Ronan.
Hello?
hey,
Hey, how's
welcome.
it? Unknown entity 675.
No, it's just for humor. I didn't really, I'm not some creepo on the internet. I was just listening to y'all conversation. I didn't want to
Yeah,
interrupt.
Feel free to
but
join if you have
like
anything to
Ronan
share.
said,
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
I said feel free to jump in whenever you want, share if you want.
Sure, I'll just let y'all, I just didn't want to interrupt y'all, what y'all was saying. But I appreciate y'all
Go
for
ahead.
welcoming me.
Go ahead, Bliss.
oh no, I mean what Ronan said, that if we, how is it that we got tricked? Because what we're dealing with are these beings are tricksters. Right? They are highly deceptive. And they are tricksters. So what Ronan said, that if we had no beginning, and you know, like they lured us in with candy to get us in the game, and this place degraded with time, and we got lost in it, which is got a good basis. However, that how come we got tricked in the first place if we were let's say, all powerful gods, how is it that we can treat the god? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, I had to mute you because you're making some noises. Go ahead.
Oh, was that me?
No, it was unknown entity. You can.
That was my microphone. My
Yeah, you're
bad.
right.
Yeah, but is it?
All right, go ahead. Sorry, I had to mute you.
Oh, and then blissfully ignorant to add on to that. If the goal was to realize that you're tricked and to wake up, then you would think that there would even be a simple exit solution, but that doesn't exist.
Exactly. That's the one flaw of that, which is it's an interesting theory, but it has that one flaw that there's no exit. We don't know about an exit. We have to figure this shit all on our own. How to get the fuck out.
Now, this is a controversial topic, but we're on the subject now. So a lot of people disagree with this, but I find a lot of people agree with it. So what's your opinion about, self-exiting on your own terms?
Yeah, I think that's the best way to go, but no rush. It's like I don't encourage my audience to to go that route. But what I'm saying is it's an option because seeing that the Matrix don't want us to kill the body because our liberation starts at the moment of death, you know. So yeah, I mean, you can wait till old age. You can wait for the Matrix to take you out because we don't know when we're going to die. You see, but in my experience, I think like the only reason why I'm sticking around is to gather as much knowledge as possible, about genosis and to discuss new things and to come up with a solution. And the other thing is, it's not easy to self-delete because of the survival instinct. It is extremely hard, actually, because most people that that, if I can say that word, commit suicide, is that they get intoxicated with alcohol and drugs and all that kind of things. So it becomes easier when you're intoxicated. But it's not easy. It is an option, but I'm not saying you have to do it. It's optional in order to escape the soul trap. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So you can,
Could you give me your opinion on people who say like, well, if you do that, you're going to be recycled back because you didn't play the game as your creators wanted you to play, so you're going to have to bow down to them and come back.
Yeah, no.
I
That's a
believe it's
lie.
vibration. Your
That's a
mind,
lie.
your mind is. It's not just like, oh, I killed myself, so now I got to come back and play the game again. I feel like if you did do that, it'll go against your like script or whatever. But I don't believe in the whole reincarnation thing. I mean, it could be a case depending on like how tethered you are to this world. Like if your focus is entirely here and your will is just pulling you into being in this world or whatever, then it might pull you back. But I don't look at it as entirely your essence being reincarnated. I mean, it's just fragments of the same essence, but it'll delude you and perturb you into thinking that you are the person, and it forget like your conscious mind will make you forget that you have dreams, but really you didn't forget. It's just your will or your energy, your essence or whatever is getting pulled into like the conscious mind, and it dilutes you and it narrows your focus on your individual survival, which is why a lot of the time we might feel like we forget, or this whole concept with reincarnation. It could just be that we never really left, and we never really like transcended or purified our essence. It's good brainstorm. I agree, man. But it's really, I don't think it's entirely bad if you do that, but I do feel like there's a script. Like everything we do is a script to it. Nothing we do is really free will. I see that that's just the illusion of the ego to make us feel like we are having free will. But it's like when you get peace of mind and observe yourself and the world around you, and you have time to really think, then it's like I don't know how to say it. You don't have to die to experience the spirit or whatever, the primordial state or whatever you want to call it. But you have to reach a certain level of peace, and it is harder when you got people you got to look after, and so there's a lot of stress that invades your serenity. But
Very
I
interesting.
don't I don't think when you die that's it. That's it, or you get reincarnated. I kind of think you create what you want, but then you don't really create it because before I gotten into a lot of truth, man, I used to be attacked spiritually all the time, astrally in my sleep, and then I used to have entities fuck with me throughout the day. I didn't know that's what was happening, but before I realized who I was and I purified myself, understood myself, and accepted myself, is when I found peace and the demons stopped fucking with me. But the people that were of that same will that was around me did turn on me because it was all a stage. It was all a distraction from the spirit. It's all about taking you out of your center. Once you get in your center, it doesn't matter whether you live or die in this madhouse. It's not as bad like when you make things peaceful or whatever. I don't know. It's really hard to explain it all, like the years of experience, everything. But I don't want to drag it on. Other people have to speak. So yeah,
Well, thanks for sharing all that.
you're welcome.
Any
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, booed it again.
Yeah, so everything is scripted, right? So, but here's the thing. So I had people asking me if there's no free will, why would these entities allow us to even awake in the first place? You know what I mean? So, but here's my take on that is that it all depends on your level of awareness that the script can change, that they have no control over, because the script has to comply to your mindset. So every time in your level of awareness changes, then the script also changes to comply with your new mindset. Does that make sense? So basically, the only field that we have is basically our level of awareness. That's it. That's the only free will we have.
Hmm,
It's our own mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
that's interesting.
Yeah, exactly. I do agree with that. The script changes with your will, but at the same time, it's like when you get so aware, you realize that all the scripts can be just they could be changeable, but there's certain things that the script will not update itself into doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, your level of awareness gives you more choices, but not necessarily free will, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, so basically the script will change where you would further awake to the truth, where these beings had no control over. So realizing that is that you're increasing your knowledge while you're still in the body, needing, having the knowledge to know what you need to do in order to escape this trap. These beings know that they're going to lose us at death, if that makes sense. As they couldn't otherwise. They couldn't have foreseen that because our own consciousness has overpowered the NPC mind. The mind that was indoctrinated with religion and all sorts of bullshit when we came into this world. this fake world.
Yeah, and there's a hell of a lot of muck to, walk through and get rid of on this journey. Every day, really. But yeah, hey,
it's an
Ronan.
education.
So what's your opinion after reading? I forgot what that book's called that you shared earlier.
You talking to me?
Yeah, like what's after reading that and your own
Oh,
ideas?
I still haven't finished. It's like 1,000 pages. I'm only on like 54, but you only have to read the first 45 pages. It just made it super, super clear, man. Like for me, I kind of know my route. I know the decision that I'm going to make. I'm not going to be here for 40 years. I'm not going to wait it out and try and, you know, I also don't think there's really too much more information to really know. I think I know enough. But I agree with blissfully ignorant. I want to kind of stick around a little bit longer to see if um, maybe there's a little bit more insight, or maybe a little bit, maybe something else, some minor changes, or maybe a different perspective. But I think the core, I have the core. I know what this place is. I kind of know what's going on. So for me, yeah, I'm not sticking around 40 years, dude. So I know for me what I'm going to do, but it's like blissfully said, it's not the path for everyone. And I don't even think most people can get past that fear of self-preservation. It's a powerful, strong drive. So, but that's the route for me. And like I said, I'm kind of similar, blissfully ignorant. I stick around for a little bit longer to gain maybe a few more insights, but the core truth, I think I have it. I think we all have it here, and I think it's just each to their own. What you kind of want from your life. But for me, yeah, this isn't life. This isn't for me. I'll always be a slave here. No joy, no happiness or anything like that. So I know my route, but not for everyone.
Yeah, well, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
there's also a
so
lot of fear programming that is indoctrinated into us to think that that's the most evil thing you could do. The most evil thing you could do is say, I want out of this place. And by taking it into your own hands, that's looked upon as like despicable.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So if you look at this place, right? Like, look at what is that bridge in San Francisco? I think. I'm not sure. They put those nets, those suicide nets. Did you see them?
Yeah.
Like, and also, I can tell you that this world, this matrix, these beings don't want us to self-destruct, that we can exit the cage. It is just obvious, because even if you Google, like these mental health related topics, that they'll throw the suicide hotline in your face, and because everyone is pro-life, pro-suffering. That's why there's a therapist, therapy and psychology. That's why those things exist. It's because of that these beings don't want real souls to harm the body, because the body is the chasm between us being trapped and the real us, the beast us, if you know what I mean. That's the only thing that's preventing our escape from this place. So, and that's the only free will we have, that it will depend on the script. Even people, taking that route, taking their own lives, are also scripted. But the script will only change, like I said, according to your level of awareness. And your level of awareness can get to such an extent where you override your own consciousness, can override the survival instinct, which is within the animal man. And that's when you kill a body, because deep down inside, that the body was designed to keep you trapped. because you are not the body. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the matrix. Just look at mainstream. That's why we go the opposite. We don't trust mainstream media. Suicide is seen as a taboo.
It's
It's just
illegal. They
being,
make it hard to do. They don't give you the technology to do it. Like, it's actually more difficult than it seems on the surface. And I think that's by design as well.
yeah, I think it's not even, it's hard, but it's not maybe as bad or as difficult in such a way that they make it out to be. It's not an evil thing. They see it. This will see it as an evil, as see it as something evil. But this life is evil. That's why it's
Mm.
inverted around. It's upside down. This life is evil, and
And
death is
and
actually good
and
to
my
get us
thing is
out.
like, even if, like I said before, continuing to exist here, you're continuing to partake in the evil. Whether you think you're not, like, for example, like I said, even if you're in a village, or you're off grid cabin in the woods, you live by yourself, you don't rely on the government or society, whatever. Again, you still are consuming animals. Insects are dying, plants are dying to feed your body. Like, you're still participating here.
And you're still
So it's like,
suffering. You know how much work
exactly.
that
So it's
is
like,
to live out there on your own?
and yet, oh, dude, and it's like, yeah, and they obviously they've made that hard as well to even accomplish that. But it's like, okay, even if you finally get that, you're still a part of the matrix. Like, you still exist. You're still here. You're still causing other life to suffer. Other life has to suffer to meet your needs. So it's like, really, it's
And
like, once you know certain things, it's like, why would you keep going? It doesn't make sense to me when you come to certain conclusions.
yeah. Also,
You're just
let's say you're perfectly at peace out there and you don't care about all that stuff you said about. All it takes is one um, man-made weather phenomena to wipe your whole entire fucking house out. Or they can come with guns and say, "Hey, it's time to leave this property." No matter what you do, like, they're coming for everybody. No one's free here. You gotta pay taxes.
exactly. And you're never completely isolated, ever. That's not possible. You're still part of the grid. You're still part of the system, no matter where you are here.
Yeah, because I used to want to do that. I used to want to just go off in some magical cottage, be free from all of this society, whatever. And then the more truth I came to, I was like, wait, why do I want to do that? I want out of this place. I don't want to participate. I don't want to have like a better life here necessarily. I want to end this place. Like, nothing here is worth the time and effort or energy.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. It's like that's the
the,
conclusion I came to. It's like, even if I had that, which would be pretty much the best possible life you could have, even with that, it still would not be worth to continue. That's the conclusion I'm at. So that's why I've already
yeah,
made
it's
my
definitely
decision.
not
I don't
worth
know
it.
when, I
Definitely.
can't give you a date, but it's like, yeah, definitely not another 40 years here potentially for me.
So,
No way.
Ronan, are you also planning to take matters in your own hands in the future?
Yes. Yes.
And Joshua?
I think so. Yeah. I think that's the only true way for me. This is just for me.
Yeah, me too.
That's the only way for me to completely say I am done with this place and take my full sovereignty out of it through my own
Yeah,
methods,
I
through
mean,
my own ways, and not to be dictated how I should die a horrible, miserable death. No, I'm going to go out peacefully when that time
Yes.
comes.
yeah, peacefully.
I agree.
A good method.
Because everyone's going
Because
to die. That's the thing. Everyone's going to die. It's going
it's
to be
gonna
tragic. It's
happen.
going to be horrible. It's
It's
going to be
gonna happen
suffering.
anyway.
And you have to be
And if
completely
you,
ready. It can take you by surprise. You won't even be ready for it. It's just my own opinion, okay? Just so you know. I'm not saying do whatever you feel comfortable with. But my
no,
opinion is you don't
you,
want to be taken
what
by
you say,
surprise.
I agree with.
You want to be completely
Yeah,
detached and done and say, okay, I'm making a stand and saying I'm done with this place and I'm going my own way.
I would rather die than live as a slave. That's basically
Yeah.
that's the core of my being is I want truth and freedom so badly that it is
Yeah,
worth more than
it's
my
the
life,
body.
my being, my perspective. It's worth more than all of this. And I cannot have that
The-
continuing to exist here.
These bodies are high maintenance. And it's preventing us to, to do the things that we want to do.
And the
That's why we're not
maintenance
friends.
is the survival off of other beings that are also enslaved. That's
Yeah,
what
exactly.
that's what I'm
So
saying. Like just maintaining your body is the
the
enslavement,
avatar.
the torture, and the death of other living beings.
Yeah, because it's life feeding on life. You like the rich is exploiting the poor. The predator eats the prey. If the predator can't get the prey, then the predator is going to die from starvation.
And
Yeah.
And
it's
And
if
even
it
the
doesn't
small
get the
things
prey,
that
the
it's even the
prey is
small
going to
things you
die.
don't really think about it. Like, hey, I need to buy something from, Amazon. Well, a Chinese slave is making your item. Another slave is shipping that item to your house. So it's like you even doing certain other things, it's requiring the enslavement and the use of other living beings who are also doing it obviously against their will just to survive. So it's like even participating as a regular citizen, you're still causing harm. You're basically still saying, I consent to this. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with human suffering. I'm okay with animal torture. Just simply
exactly.
existing.
And
Even
you're
if
fun.
you're, like I said, completely isolated, completely alone, cabin in the woods, your existence here still consents to that. You're
Yeah. And
still participating. You
every time
cannot
you buy
escape it.
that thing, you're funding the slave master.
Exactly.
And then you're paying the
Any
taxes on
participation
top of that.
in the economy is participating in that. And that's another aspect people don't really think about. Oh well, I'm not having children. I'm not causing harm to animals. Like even if you didn't have children, you went full vegan, all that stuff, you're still participating.
But here's the
There
thing, Ronan.
is
Even
no
being
way to not
vegan
participate.
destroys so much life that people don't realize. You know how many factory
Oh,
farms
and
have
it's
to.
not healthy for your body. You're
Yeah.
killing yourself
Either
slowly.
way. But like the environment gets destroyed and you kill all sorts of animals, insects, plants just to farm those crops. So there's no
Yep,
wipe your hands clean of any of this stuff.
exactly. So that's why I
Yeah, we
say
so
continuing to exist is participating. You're giving your consent, especially when you know what we know. Oh, that's it. I think
yeah, that's
it would be even
unacceptable.
worse for us. Yeah, because we know what we know. We're not ignorant. We know what's going on. So it's almost even worse for us to continue.
Not
Yeah,
only are we slaves, but we cause enslavement just by existing in these bodies.
exactly.
Yeah. Hmm.
And
It's
isn't
an
something to think about too
abomination.
that even having pets, you're enslaving those animals. The
Yep.
one thing
It
that
goes
brings you
down to
joy in
every
life, you're
level,
enslaving
dude.
that animal to give them
Every
joy.
level is enslavement.
It's just crazy, man.
Yeah, and it's crazy. And how do we enslave them? By using money.
The
But
god of
you
this
know,
realm.
the god of this world, money.
It's even on the dollar here in the US. In God we trust. It says that.
Yeah. What is
With
in
the
God we
eye, with the
trust?
pyramid in the eye.
Exactly. It's all about money.
It's fucked up.
Why do people pray? Because they want money. You know? You know what I
And literally
mean?
think the only reason why you take any action in your entire life is because you're trying to fulfill a need that you can never satisfy because you're
Exactly.
given a body with endless needs. So any action that you've ever taken in your life is simply to fill a void that you were born with. It's crazy.
That I mean that there it is right there. So nothing you do is actually free will. You're just trying to fulfill unfulfilled desires.
Yep. A carrot on the stick that is endless.
Yeah, I mean, you could even say this what we're talking about is trying to fulfill an unfulfilled desire of knowing the truth. That's why we're doing this, because we have that unfulfilled desire of not knowing the truth, and that's why we're here.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you that book, Josh, and let me know what you think. It's like I said, it's only 45. You only have to read the first 45 pages, but it's very succinct and straight to the point. I think you'll get a lot from it,
Actually, I looked
or
it
it'll
up.
just
Yeah,
solidify. Oh, you have?
I've heard about it, and I know Bliss has talked about it before. We've talked about it a little bit, but yeah, I finally looked it up, and I read the first few pages, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah, dude.
It's just so like
Oh my God,
there's no
I want to
wiggle
meet
room
this.
around it.
There isn't, dude. There's only two types of people, and there's only like two options. It's like, wow. But it's everything we already knew, but it's like when someone words it so succinctly like that, and it's also something that you can show someone else, and it exposes you when you read it.
Yeah, and if of course the people who are ignorant will read that and just laugh at it and make up any justification they need to.
Joshua, I see this, the Truth TV wants to come on,
Oh, he does?
but it's been a while.
Well, I posted the link if you want to join.
Oh yeah, the Truth TV can join if he wants to say something, because he said that he's got something to share.
I'm not. Where are you seeing that? I don't see that.
On chat, and if you go to at the bottom, comments, chat, the Truth TV. Who's the Truth TV?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll post the link again if you want to. Anybody else can join too.
Well, anyone is welcome to join us.
Yeah. I mean,
the Three Musketeers.
I know it's kind of scary to put yourself out there, but we all did it, and it made us stronger. So we're around like-minded people. So
yeah, we tried to build a puzzle so that we might be missing a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only reason that what we can say while we're here is to gather as much knowledge as possible. To get the fuck out. That's the only reason why I'm still sticking around. And the fact that it takes courage.
It does. It goes against everything that your body and mind wants you to not do. Yeah, I will say, I've going back to what you said about getting more information and knowledge. From my own personal experience, like I've continually become more and more and more a different person as this truth has set in with me. So there is validity with that. What you were saying, like I'm completely different than I was a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 10 years. Oh my gosh, 10 years ago. Holy shit. So,
yeah, it changes.
But I never stick
Like
to one
I
spot.
was ignorant as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like the first 3 decades of my existence in this life, I was religious.
Same.
But, so
Yeah, we all
3
went
and a
through
half.
that.
The biggest hogwash ever. And I can't even believe that I really believed in that shit. I'm telling you, I pray to this Jesus and this God for every day for, like 30 plus years, and they didn't do shit for me. So that's how you can know.
Right there with you, buddy.
Yep. Same
My
here.
life still sucks. My life sucks. This life sucks ass. Everything is like upside down. There's no unconditional love, doesn't exist. But all you hear when you're born and you get indoctrinated by your robot parents telling you about love and God, and then you get older and you realize it's all just bullshit.
Yeah, it's funny to me how people will say, "Oh, look at God's wonderful creation. He created all of this." And I'm like, I start throwing up, like, "Oh, why do you want to worship that?
Yeah. It's like, this is the best he could do.
This is horrible."
If I had the power, I would do way better than this.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, if I, as a mortal being, have superior intellect, yeah, come on. This is a terrible, terrible, terrible place.
yeah,
Terrible
and
existence.
that's why fantasy is so much more appealing. Is because if we can think of all this, why couldn't God, the ultimate creator, have done something similar or more imaginative, or you know what I mean?
Not
Yeah.
better than this place.
Exactly.
Anything other than this place. I mean, this world shouldn't even exist.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But yet it does exist. It's a weird shit. I'm having an existential crisis.
Yeah, I
Yes.
find a lot of people look at the world and see the ugly truth of it, and then automatically say, "Well, there's no God because God wouldn't create this," and then they become atheists. When no, something did create this. It doesn't have to be benevolent. Like obviously,
Yeah, it's
something did
malevolent.
create this.
Yeah, I think agnostic is kind of like, to me, like the most neutral, logical route to go about it. But I think, atheism, scientism, pure materialism, I think those are just more traps.
Yeah, that's all evolution. But you see, evolution as just another religion, actually. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That
it's
we evolved from monkeys, and it took
Yeah,
billions of years.
science.
maybe
I
you
don't
did, but I
know.
didn't. That's what I tell
Yeah.
people. I'm like, hey, maybe you did.
Yeah, but how come it took billions of years and now we're here, but yet these other apes, these monkeys, are still here walking around, but we human, and what happened to them? Or were they the unlucky ones? Or are they better off than us?
Yeah, if you go into the conspiracy rabbit holes, you find out that everything science has told us is a complete outright lie. I mean, pretty much all of it. Like you said, space is a lie. Like evolution's a lie. Germ theory. I mean, there's so many things that we've been taught to believe that is outright a lie, and we just believe it because there's people in white coats who are our religious leaders who tell
Yeah.
us what to believe in.
And then you have 12 years of indoctrination in schooling. And then you have your parents indoctrinating you. Then you have your peers indoctrinating you. Then you have media indoctrinating you. Religion. It's multi-layered. Since the womb.
Yeah, it's like the conspiracy is insane. Like how many conspiracies that are true that there are, and it just further leads into this is a deceptive, illusionary realm where they get you to believe in outright lies for your whole life.
And then every truth you learn, every conspiratorial truth you learn, it's never a good thing. It's
Never.
always negative.
Yeah.
Always negative. You never uncover a truth that's amazing, makes you feel good, that's awesome. No, it's always bad. It's always something negative.
Unless you get funneled into like the Christian truther stuff, and you're like, oh, well, there is a creator, and he loves me. It's just he created this wonderful flat Earth for us to under a dome to be, stuck in here forever. But there's evil here, and we have to fight against it. Yay!
And then
Yeah,
we're born in sin. You're born a sinner,
on a
and
blank slate,
God
and we're born on
has
a blank slate.
He allows Satan to deceive you, destroy you, harm you, all as a test so that you can pass the test in the end and go to heaven,
You did
while
it!
other people
Yay!
are
Come on!
burning in hell
What's up,
for
Mr.
eternity.
DT? Mr. DT?
What's up, Mr. DT?
Yo, guys. Good listening to you
Yo.
guys.
So,
Blissfully ignorant. Are you from South Africa as well, my man?
oh yeah. And you?
Yeah, I can hear your accent, my bro.
Okay, cool. Are you from
Bro,
Cape
I thought
Town?
y'all were Australian. I was way off.
So, did you think, Ronan, did you think that I'm from Australia?
I did that. I did think you were from Australia.
That's it. Now, some people think that I'm from the UK. No, but I'm from SA, actually. Anyway, English
Oh,
are my
cool.
native.
So what's life like in South Africa?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
The same old shit here.
Same old, same old. It doesn't matter where you go, this whole world sucks ass.
Yeah. You know,
Yep.
here in the U.S., we have all our own personal conspiracies about the U.S. Is there like anything about the South where you live that is like big conspiracy stuff that's happening? I'm just curious if it happens all around the world. Like your own government has its own conspiracies that the people know about, and there's like truthers within each country, and they're all trying to overthrow the government.
Yeah, they're all the same. They're all the same.
Look, being from South Africa, we in the whole BRICS movement, so
Oh
I
yeah.
think we hoping that there is something that does change in our country, or it does change worldwide, where the petrodollar does fall. So hopefully people stop living in poverty here. So there
Yeah.
is some hope for that, for some change to happen within our country and worldwide.
Well, I wouldn't hope on that. I'm just being real.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. I agree that I highly doubt that there will be any change worldwide. Or look, I've been following all of the conspiracies for years on YouTube now, so I highly doubt that there will be any change. I've been looking at all the eclipses and all of the stuff that the so-called Christian movement has been looking at, where we supposedly will be going into the second coming of Christ. And I have wishful thinking that something will change in the world. So, I mean, all of humanity can benefit from this, but it looks highly unlikely that something will actually change in this place.
Okay. So hypothetically, let's say things did change. Would you still want to be here?
No.
Okay.
Oh, then it doesn't matter.
There you go.
It's good to think though, but
Yeah.
Look, there's nothing that could change in this place
Not
that
worth
would
it.
ever make, I think, any of us that's awake in this place that would want to stay behind,
oh no,
Yeah.
no. We cannot be fools.
So I
That's
think
the
even
trauma.
if the
That's the
rapture
trauma
does
bond.
happen, I don't think any of us would want to hang behind. But it's just like the rapture was in the movie. Just This Is the End with Seth Rogen and I can't forget the other guy that was in there. But yeah, they kind of showed that the rapture is going to be a fake rapture. The Happening was another show with Mark Wahlberg in it, where they showed people are going to disappear. Thanos snaps his fingers. People are going to disappear. The whole COVID scheme was supposedly where people are going to disappear in this world. So whether those are the NPCs that are going to disappear, or is it really something that's going to happen? I think it's wishful thinking at this point to hope for something to change in this world.
Yeah. I'm fully versed in all the Bible stuff, so I know about all that, and it's kind of the more you get out of the programming of it, you find out how despicable that actually is. It's like, wait, you've been waiting around to come remove evil from this world? Why? And then the people who don't believe in you, you're just going to leave here to rot and suffer? What kind
Yep.
of God is that?
That you predestined in
Because you didn't
advance
love me.
to
You
happen.
didn't love me. Go ahead.
You made them that way. You knew that was
Exactly.
going to happen, and you
Yeah,
just watched
that's
them as they
why
suffer.
that's why this world will never change, because this world is not only run by evil. Evil created it. That's the problem. So even if you want to try and bring change, it'll just be a facade, or it'll only last for a moment, and then the ship will start. Will start again. So this whole realm is like there's no hope. There's no hope in this place. That's all I can say. Our mission is not only to escape, but to find a way to shut this place down. That's my mission. I'm gonna destroy this place.
I'll be right there with
And
you.
I'm looking. Joshua, you gonna destroy this place? Ronan, are you with us? Ronan, Mr. DT.
Yeah.
We need volunteers. Because I wanna destroy this place. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing I thought about. Okay, people say, "Oh, you're gonna let other people suffer. It's gonna kill everybody." And I'm thinking, well, it's not really it's not even their body. It's just the vessel. That's not who they are. So by destroying it,
Yeah,
they get freed of it.
no, but you see why they say that is that these NPCs, because they are basically, they're kind of like soulless. Okay, they do have a soul, but it's artificial. It's like a hive mind. So they're scared that this is the only life they know. Because once they die, that is it. They don't go beyond this matrix.
Yeah.
So we are in a minority, and we just spread a small
So
minority.
if we destroy this place, all the NPCs get wiped out. I guess
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
they'll get wiped.
So they want
That's
to
what
fight to
that's what
keep it
we want to
going.
do. That's why they want to keep us here, and that's why also another reason that they don't want us to escape. Because if we do,
Keep getting
we
booted.
might just find a way to shut this place down. You know what I mean? We should not, when we leave the body, we should not try and find a home or a heaven. The first things first is to go the other way and to try and regain your memory, and then take it from there and find a way to fucking shut this place down. That's how we. That's what that is. That's how what we must do.
Well, here's an interesting comment. Veracity Media said if it was possible to be destroyed, it would have been already. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I was just about to say that, ask that question, because it's like, okay,
Okay, yes, the
truly
thing.
we're not the only people that have thought about this over the course of humanity.
Yeah,
So there's other
but
people like us.
there are, but like I said, we are not many. We are like probably less than on this level. I'd say less than 1,000 around the world. So that's not many that are knows that this is a fake reality, that have seen these entities, that had out of body experience and see this world for what it truly is. It's a hellscape, a hellish simulation, and it's a fake world, you know. Like what is that? The previous guy that was on your live stream, Joshua, yesterday, when was it? The day before. The truth is. The
The
truth
truth is.
is. He spoke a lot of truth as well. Except that the other day he said that he also wants to destroy everything, but he sees himself as better than everyone else. But I told him that we might be better than NPCs, obviously, because once they die, that's it. It seems that they don't have a soul like we do. Not to boast, but I'm just saying. So then, and that being said, that we are all equal as real souls, because like I'm not better than you. We're just trying to find a way out and figure this shit out together. Of what the fuck is happening. And why are we in this mess? And why are we suffering like this? You know what I'm saying? So
that's a great point. That's how you can figure out who is legitimate and genuine versus who's not. Are they trying to have this power over you with the secret information, or do they want you to follow you and you're their source of information because they're better than you?
Yep.
That's an easy tell. Okay, this person is not genuine. This person is in it for the wrong reasons. It's a shill, grifter, whatever it is. This person is not.
It's like a cult.
They should not want a following at all.
I actually joined this chat is because Joshua and I think Infinite Corridors was on here earlier as well. I've been watching a lot of the so-called Truth of Movement on YouTube for quite a while now, and I don't want to delve into the mainstream Truth of Movement, which is like archaics and all of that nonsense, but I've had a lot of synchronicities with the people that I watch myself, like Joshua, like Infinite Corridors, and there's quite a few other guys on here as well. Just thoughts that I have in my own head, things that I never said to another soul. And then I see Joshua mention it, or Jared mention it, or there's people online on here that touch on the same topic. So I think personally myself, that we are all interconnected in ways that we cannot fathom on a physical level, but there's something actually happening in the world in quite a large scale that where we cannot I don't know how to put it in words, but where we cannot connect the dots. Sorry, I'm at a loss for words, but we can't connect the dots in a sophisticated manner to actually tell what the picture is trying to show us. I think there is an escape route for all of us out here, for the true souls that are here. The escape door has been shown to us on many movies, many shows, many teleprompters. So all the mainstream media has been pushing it as well. It's up to us as the awakened ones to actually try to figure out the puzzle, and try to put the pieces together, and try to figure out where out.
That was great. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we're getting the pieces of the puzzle, together. So it's like as a collectors. It's not like one real source got all the information. So we gather knowledge from other real souls, and we see the bigger picture to see that if we are missing a piece of the puzzle, because Joshua knows some things, so I gathered knowledge. Ronan, other people as well, and then also,
Look, I was skeptical at first because like I said, obviously being on this platform, it is a bit sus as well, because there's a lot of trolls and people who do actually
everywhere. Yeah.
They look a bit deeper into. You can just have your normal channel name like Ronan and Blissfully Ignorant or whatever it is, but these guys go a bit deeper. So even on my channel, I just created one video, and then within a week someone's trying to hack into the account, so whether you want to call them gang stalkers, game stalkers, or whatever the
matrix.
I mean, there is someone obviously definitely looking at each individual that's on here, paying attention to all of their browser history, etc. They know the stuff that we look at, the people that we speak to, what we talk about. So there is a big following on that side, and I have been aware of it for quite some time. Like I said, I have been researching this topic for a number of years now. So if you haven't looked at, like I mentioned earlier, the Archaics channel, right? I'm sure everyone on here.
Oh yeah, we know about that shit.
He's part of the journey.
It's obvious to me. I don't know about anybody else.
If you actually look at the inception of the channel, how it started, he started when coming onto Santos Bonacci and Logan and all of these decoding guys in the Gematria community, the Astrotheology community, and how they actually broke the ice by coming into the scene, infiltrating each and every, you would call it niche section of the truth community, whether it be from gang stalking, whether it be from people who looked into astrotheology, the people who looked into gematria only, So there is a syndicate obviously at play, monitoring all of us.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. I think we're all being monitored, for sure.
Yeah, you see,
that's not going to stop. That shouldn't stop us from, trying to communicate with each other. It's very difficult, but I mean, this is a perfect example right here. None of us had to join this. Josh didn't have to host this, but we all decided to come here. Yeah. So.
Yeah, everything is recorded.
I feel like no one's trying to promote their channel. Like, hey, come over here and subscribe, hit no notification, and follow and buy all my merch and do all this crap.
Yeah,
and that's how you tell the real people. They're not trying to promote. They're not trying to get money. They're not trying to get status. When you really focus on truth, it's very obvious.
That's what they are.
Look, the truth doesn't have a price on it. You can't put a price. And anyone like Zach from Gematria Fake News, it's $1 for the truth. You got to donate. You got to subscribe.
Merch,
you got to buy
books,
the
calendars.
And I don't mean to point fingers at anyone on Joshua's channel
money.
or anything like that, but it's
they
just
want your
like
money.
I would like to think that this platform is here to actually speak the truth. And if you actually look what's happening in the truth community, and it's been happening for a number of years, it's just people trying to sell their courses, trying to sell books and shows, and it's. Do we actually have people who want to speak the truth anymore? It doesn't seem like it anymore. And, there's only a few small channels that actually do promote the stuff. And like I said, it's Joshua and the channel I mentioned before, like Jared, Infinite Corridors, people who I still actually listen to, because the rest of the community seems like they just want to sell us something all the time.
Well, you should check out Blissfully Ignorant. He's his great channel too. He talks about that actually.
Yeah, but I haven't seen Blissful Ignorance channel, and I will have a look at it. But for the large majority, I mean, I think even you posted a few of his videos as well, Chiron last, and I think he actually left a code for us in his videos as well. So
What's his code?
his videos are all coded with the 911, so and the 47, telling us on the start of April 8th that, I mean, it was when Chiron came into I forget the constellation now, but it's all astrological, you know. So there's some code in here, and I think that if we as the truthers actually look deeper into it, we're actually going to find something that has some meaning to it. And it's like in the show Westworld, they showed us that there is a door up.
Oh, that's a good show.
You know, and the code was left inside the skull of you call it NPCs or whatever in the show. It's only when they cut the skull open and they looked into the skull that they saw, or into the scalp, that the maze or the escape from the matrix was coded within each and every one of them. And it was up to the NPCs themselves to find out how to decipher this code.
Interesting. That's something something me and Bliss have talked about is with a certain, I won't name the channel, but a certain channel was putting out so much good information and then all of a sudden just stopped, deleted all the videos, and then became an NPC. And I was like, how could that be possible? How could you know that much truth and be willing to share it and then delete everything and become an NPC again? And that could be some outside good source trying to awaken some of us. I don't know. It's just an idea. So, I mean, that could have been Chiron too.
Like escaping from outside.
No, I believe Chiron was obviously one of them. He understood more about the truth than most of us listening and speaking here. Whether he was part of the cabal himself or not, but I mean, he understood something that was happening within the world itself. It's not something. It's not like meteors are gonna fucking fall from the sky tomorrow and crash land and fucking the Dome of the Rock is gonna break down and
That'd be cool, though.
Palestine and all of the shit's gonna happen. I don't think we're all hoping for something like that. You know, where
Yeah, we
it is
hoping, but
the
there's
red
not
heifers
hoping.
get slaughtered tomorrow morning. You know, we all wake up and we hear the fucking heifers got slaughtered, the Dome of the Rock's being destroyed, and here we are in the second coming of Christ, or supposedly. I'm not a Christian, but I'm just saying it's like, if you look at it from the grand scheme of things, most of mainstream media and the world itself is all looking down those avenues for the truth. And I think it does hold some resemblance as to what may happen in the world itself. Like I said, with the whole second coming, I have my own theories on it. I don't think this is the platform to discuss it at this point. I'm not too sure what the previous discussion was on this channel until I abruptly interrupted you guys. But
No, you're joining the conversation.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Mr. DT, what do you believe? What do you believe in at this moment?
myself,
I mean,
look, I was a born Hindu. Yeah. So we were taught reincarnation from a very young age, you know, that every soul will reincarnate into this world again. But as I grew up, you know, it like nothing made sense. Why would we reincarnate into this place? So, I mean, studying into it, you start to understand that this is some kind of soul trap where our spirit comes into this place to be trapped into the human vessel, the avatar,
yeah, the
so to
human
speak.
flesh.
And we continuously identify with it, so it becomes us. You die and then you spawn again, you know. It's like,
But it's interesting to say that your belief system that you had in your past has got reincarnation in it. Hinduism, like Buddhism,
yeah. Yes.
they believe in reincarnation. But you're not Hindu anymore, are you?
No, I don't follow. I don't follow any religion at this point.
Okay, no, that's good because you know about the soul trap. Yeah.
No, I'm
It's
fully
just
aware
that-
of it on that level.
Yeah.
Supposedly, I look, there's a whole theory, and if you start delving deep into it, if you go into Reddit and you look into the soul trap or escaping prison planet subreddit, you'll start to see that these people are talking about obviously us going into the astral plane and trying to fight on that plane and stuff like that. But Reddit itself is also very controlled media. So everything on that site, I mean, try posting anything on there or anything where you have a free thought onto that platform and you're going to get banned almost immediately. So it shows you that whoever's controlling this narrative, right, they already have their hand into the whole soul trap bullshit. So if you look at the channel like Forever Consciousness, he's a channel that gets constantly promoted on Reddit as an example, right?
Wait, Forever Conscious Research Channel.
Yeah. I forget the guy's main name or whatever it is, right? I don't watch too much of him, but that channel is promoted the same amount that David Icke is promoted. I mean, any truther at this point, if you're looking for the truth, you know David Icke fucking is probably a reptilian himself. So how the fuck
Yeah,
the consciousness
it's the
associate
mainstream.
himself with
Don't let
David
that
Icke
don't
and
let that other
etc.
guy hear what you just said. Oh man.
The other guy, which one?
What was his name, Joshua?
Philosophy
philosophy vids. He would lose his
He won't
mind.
be happy. He won't be happy with Mr.
Look,
DD.
I question whether these guys are
no.
legit at this point as well, because if the mainstream media and I mean whoever's promoting all of the shit has a Reddit sub that has over 80,000 people following them, and they push a very specific narrative, and this is the channel that gets promoted mainly on this subreddit, then it more or less coincides with them obviously being a part of, I would say, the same opposition that we're trying to fight against, you know?
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah, but
I'll be right back. Sorry.
I agree with Mr. DT. He said that like David Icke and Forever Research and people that get promoted, Like I don't follow those channels because I don't follow anything that's being promoted by this matrix.
Exactly.
Mainstream media. You cannot trust them. Why is the matrix promoting their channels or
Exactly.
their book?
You see what I'm saying? If you actually start reading between the lines and start to see that the channels that, I mean, this narrative that we think we found the truth on, right? This whole soul trap TV and all of this nonsense. We think that we stumbled across something, but I believe that this narrative has actually been pushed towards us. Just like in 2015, the whole flat Earth movement came across. Eric Dubay and all of these guys. I mean, there was mention on Joe Rogan, etc. So it went mainstream with this whole flat Earth thing. And then 2018 comes along. No one mentions fucking COVID, and then it comes out the blue by 2019, 2020. Where the fuck were all these guys who had the truth supposedly 2 years before that or a year before that? None of them knew it was coming. And it came and went, and now everyone forgets about it like it ever fucking happened. No one even fucking mentions
it. It's so weird. It's like y'all just forgot what happened, and like people forget how they treated you. It's like I didn't forget.
Exactly.
I know how I was
see
treated.
What I'm saying? It's like people just fucking swept over this shit like it never fucking happened. Like the whole of 2020 was this fucking some mirage that fucking happened. The NPCs behaved like it never ever happened. So we never had the whole COVID scene. Meanwhile, these same motherfuckers were the ones who were double masking, fucking double vaxxed, all of it. And then today it's like this shit never happened. So yeah, so it's hard to trust anyone in the truth movement supposedly nowadays. I think the community itself has been infiltrated.
Yeah,
I think it's been infiltrated from the very start itself. There's channels like Chalk Body Outline, EBT, all of these guys who've been trying to expose some of the truther channels, but they themselves have been involved in the syndicate in promoting and exposing.
Orthodox. I think they're like Orthodox Christians, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. What are they promoting? What are they getting out of it?
They're promoting their books that they want to sell.
Their online business, or just a distraction of like stupid drama and entertainment.
Exactly.
That's what it is nowadays. It's a dollar for the truth.
I need to say that because philosophy fit's not here at the moment. So let me quickly say this. yeah, David Icke is selling his book, you know what I'm saying? So that's the agenda. I don't know. He's got a lot of good information, but like I said, I don't trust anyone that is being promoted by this matrix because I don't trust this world.
Yeah, I don't think
There's just money everywhere.
I'm starting to think it's not
Yeah.
even. Yeah, can you hear?
Yeah, you can go ahead. What was that?
But I think
Ronnie?
at least for me, I think that was part of my journey was going down all these rabbit holes and seeing that they are rabbit holes, seeing that they are distractions. But I did gather there are some truths in a lot of these things. So I think the best philosophy is to what's the phrase? Chew the meat but spit out the bones. So to find the truth that they are selling, there are truth in there, but they have
The
to
gold
tell the
nuggets.
truth with lies. So they have to
The gold
surround
nuggets. Yeah.
exactly. And you can find them, but it does take a lot of discernment. And at least for me, I personally had to go through all those rabbit holes. That was part of my journey, and it actually trained my discernment in a lot of
No,
ways.
100% agreed, Ronan.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing with I believe, like I was saying, the truth movement itself is infiltrated by the same mainstream media that we look at, your CNN or whatever it is, right? These are the same people that are promoting the supposed soul trap theory. I mean, if you got a channel that has 90,000 subscribers promoting soul
Yeah.
trap, I mean, at this point, I
Man, if you
mean,
have more than 500 subs, I'm already
yeah, I mean,
sketchy.
like if you look at Tony Sayers and all of these fucking guys, I mean, 25,000 subs promoting soul trap theory.
Yeah,
I
no
mean, at
way.
Dude,
this
I guess
point,
I guess I'm a shill. Sorry.
Um,
It's not
I
my
know there
fault.
are a lot of people.
It's not my fault.
You know what I mean, Josh.
I'm kidding. Yeah. I think I got those subs
Okay.
from like a viral video that I didn't make, but I re-uploaded. So it's not
No, man,
again.
you have a solid channel, dude. You have a solid channel, man.
But look at this, right? If you look at this one channel, what is the name? Eric Dubay, right? You know Eric Dubay.
Oh, what do y'all think of him?
yeah, I mean,
Okay,
Eric Dubay, obviously, I
so
mean, anyone in the truth of movement, like I said, is going to understand, if you into the truth, you're going to understand that Eric Dubay, 2015, when he came up with his whole flat earth movement stuff, his first video was about the Auschwitz camps in Germany with the whole Jewish stuff that I don't want to mention too much about, but that video, obviously, he took down, and it's not even on BitChute or any of
yeah,
the platforms that if you look into it. But I mean, the channel that has over 100,000 subscribers is not going to tell you the truth. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
If
Yeah.
Eric Dubay is talking about the
200,000
soul trap
subscribers.
theory, that means Joe Rogan and
Yeah,
all
but
of these
he's
guys
selling,
on
he's
those
selling stuff.
platforms already understand that the people like us who are looking into these things, right? So they need to feed us information based on the topics that we look into. That's why they got people
Yeah,
like Dubay for
But I
his
think
consciousness,
it's almost
etc.,
I
like they're
think
etc.
infiltrating the truth, the soul trap community to make us look bad. You know, these people asking for money, putting the thanks button there, putting their PayPal in the description, selling their books, selling their merch. Yet they're talking about the soul trap. It's giving us a bad name. You know what I mean? It's like these agents all infiltrating the soul trap community.
How'd you
Giving us
say?
a bad
Give me
name.
your money.
Yeah, give me your money.
join my cult, please.
That's what I say. It's $1 for the truth nowadays. You know, it's like, give me $1, I'll give you the truth. You're not going to get the truth if you don't give me the $1, and that's how it is. If you don't spend the money, you don't buy the courses, you don't buy the books, you don't listen to all the podcasts, etc., etc., you're never going to understand. And that's what they're selling to us nowadays. And the truth is not like that. You know, I mean, I think all four of us that's on this platform now having this conversation, each of us have our own specific truth that's dedicated, tailor-made for us. You know, it's like, Ronan, you have your own shit that you need to go through. Joshua has his shit, blissfully ignorant, and
Yeah.
myself, you know what I mean? It's like, my truth may not be the same as any of you guys. Like the shit I go through in my life may not be the same shit that you guys go through. But the fact of the matter is that we all more or less coincide when it comes to the same theory, where we're all looking up the same stuff, discussing the same topics. So there is a community out there that's listening to all of us, understanding what we trying to get into, and they try to infiltrate that and try to guide us or manipulate us into following a specific route, into trying to attain this enlightenment, so to speak, where they try to sell us certain topics or try to sell us certain narratives, so to speak, into joining their side of for crossing over and joining their side of the fence. Sorry, my words are not coming out perfect, but
But I
you get the point.
I also think, yeah, I get your point. But I also think on a larger scale, I think this matrix is an endless distraction generator. So I think there's endless distractions that you can get into, which is again why it's so frustrating actually trying to find the truth. Is because this reality will kind of give you whatever distraction you want to get into.
No, I
It's
100%
endless,
agree
it's
with you.
infinite.
I don't
Yeah,
think that here on this planet or whatever we call Earth that we can ever find true truth. The
agree.
most definitive source of it.
I
I don't think
I
it
can
can
tell
be
you
found in this place.
absolute truth right now. You want to hear it?
I'm all ears. Dude.
Yes.
No suffering is justifiable here. That
Ding,
is
ding, ding. And that's probably
that's
the
the
root.
truth.
No,
That's the only truth
that's
you
an
need to know.
objective fact. That's an objective
Objective.
fact. And you know these new age channels? They say it's all about love, but they want your money. It's all about love, but they want your money. They all want money. You see, 99% of all the channels on YouTube are NPC based. They're carnal. They speak about all sorts of things, that might sound interesting, but then they've got their agenda of selling their courses and stuff.
Yeah, look, I
And
mean,
you could just go into the comments, and the comments alone will kind of tell you what you're dealing with. Like even if you
yeah,
didn't even watch the video, you go into the
it,
comments, you're like, whoa,
once you see
wow.
the bots, I mean, like all the bots
Yeah,
fucking having conversations with each other and all agreeing on the same topic, straight
yeah,
away.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think these big channels want us to steer away from actually discovering the truth for ourselves and coming together as we're doing now and discussing these things, because we're giving our power away to authorities who know more than us. So whatever they tell
Yep.
us, we're going to have to believe and be part of their
Like
cult.
you said, we're
Know
giving our
more and more
power
and
away,
more.
but something that happened during COVID which was an eye opener for me. It wasn't the president or the police or anyone coming to me and telling me, "Hey, put your mask on." It was people that I knew. It was us doing it to each other. We were policing each other. We were pushing the agenda of the mainstream narrative onto each other. It was people that you knew that told you, "Hey, put your mask on. You can't enter this shop without your mask on. Or you can't do this. You can't do that." And it's those very people that we need to be scared of, because it's not the people online, and it's not Mr. Ramaphosa or Donald Trump or any of these presidents that are going to come knocking on your door to tell you,
Your
"Hey,
own
Joshua."
family, your own neighbors, your own friends will betray you in
Yeah,
the end.
and that's where it starts. You see, it's like charity starts at home, but like the fucking end of the world starts there too. You know what I'm saying? It's like these
Yeah,
are the same motherfuckers that are
Mister,
gonna push this shit on you.
you can't trust anyone in person, especially because remember, realizing that you're in a like a trap, living in a fake reality, and you've been imprisoned by an unseen enemy. You can't trust anyone in person, because they were all put there on purpose to distract you and to keep you ignorant, to
Mm.
keep you grounded, and to make you feel, to give you the feeling that this world is real. But it's not a real world. It's obvious, because we're going to leave this world. We're
Okay,
only
then
here in a moment.
look, I agree with you with this world not being a real world, but there's something that I struggle with on a daily basis, right? I got a wife and I got 2 kids, right? And I struggle to understand whether
Oh shit.
my wife and kids are actually real at this point. Are they a figment of my fucking imagination? Am I schizophrenic? Are they real people? Do they have their own fucking thoughts? Do they go through their own shit? Because I can tell you that I see synchronicities that more or less coincide, that maybe they don't. Maybe they do. I don't know.
Okay, but
You see what I'm saying?
here's the question. Here's the question. Before you had your kids, okay, were you still religious?
I started losing my faith in religion quite early on. So.
At that time. So, but you know about the antinatalist
Yeah. Look,
philosophy.
the
But
anti-natalist community and all of that shit, I don't pick up too much for them because I mean these guys are always promoting. I mean, if you bring another soul into this world, and you know, I mean, you're a bad person, etc., etc. Look,
yeah,
at the end of
I
the
mean
day,
that
I believe our lives are scripted, right? I've studied astrology long
exactly.
enough to
There's no
understand that.
free will. You know
Yeah,
what?
and
I'm only use antinatalism as a to attract people. You know, like most
exactly,
antinatalists
and
are
that's what I'm saying. There's another channel, there's a South African
atheists.
channel as well, right? Being a South African myself, I'll tell you, Benedict, whatever the fuck his name is, right? That guy's another
Benedict
shill as well, right?
Climate.
Yeah, right. He's another
Yeah,
shill
you're
because
right.
he's
Because
trying to
you,
draw in
yeah,
8,000 subscribers or
exactly,
so, trying to draw in
exactly.
people who
But you
hate life.
see,
There's enough people in this world who hate life. You understand what I'm saying? But if you're gonna sit there every day crying about how much you hate life, you're gonna find an audience that wants to listen to you. So look, we all hate life. We understand that there's something wrong, fundamentally wrong in the realm that we're living in. We understand that. We look around, we see the poverty, we see the suffering, we see all the anxiety, we see the stress and everything that we have to live with every single day. So we understand that there's something wrong. But we have people now who understand that as well, but also want to feed off it, right? So they know, okay, look, there's people out there, just like the manifestation coaches and shit like that, will sell you all the shit that you can manifest within 3 days and blah blah blah. If you buy their course, and you can make whatever you want in your reality appear in front of you. It's the same shit. They're trying to sell you some
yeah,
shit.
that's the thing.
You know, it's always trying to promote something. At the end of the
But
day, we all hate life.
I don't see these people as real souls. I see them as bots.
No, I agree with you, and that's what I'm saying. Benedict himself, like a fellow South African, but I have to say that
And the
man
other
looks like a
one,
shill. You know, I mean, if it looks
prison.
like a shill,
Look
smells like a
up.
shill, it most probably is a fucking shill.
Another one, yeah, I know what you mean. I
I
saw
mean,
some of his
if you're gonna
videos.
promote stuff with in your channel is what do you call it on YouTube, where you
Got that little thanks button.
yeah, where people can donate and shit like that, you know, it's monetized. So if
Yeah,
you
that's
the
that's
truth
a red
itself cannot
flag.
be monetized. That's what I'm saying. $1 for the truth is bullshit because you cannot put a price tag on the
Exactly.
truth. If you have the truth,
Yeah.
you cannot fucking promote it with a price
I
tag on
agree
it.
with you.
And
And
you
I think,
want to
like I
give it
said,
away. You just want to
you know,
spread it no
Okay,
matter what.
I mean,
okay,
I
but
think all
we've
of
got a
us here.
comment here from Calvin. We have a comment from Calvin. Says that, so if the panel thinks the soul trap is itself a trap, then how do we exit? You can't kick this out without addressing the obvious. Okay, but what do you think? What's your thought on that?
You're asking me
So
that
this,
question.
oh, anyone. But the soul
Look,
trap itself is not a trap because this is what it is. It's a trap. The
look.
trap is a trap.
Well, I think part of this soul trap is waiting for something else to happen to you in order to free yourself. I think
Look,
that's a
I
big
personally
trap.
believe that there is an exit before we die, and if you can actually figure it out before you die, supposedly, right, there is a way out. All of these movies, all of these TV shows, continuously portray the same. There's a channel, Finis Temperis, right, Out of Time 88, that promotes all the 9/11 code on the movies. Right, you can just type that into fucking YouTube. You're gonna find that shit. He shows there's a whole list of movies that have all of this 9/11 code on it. And I think all of these movies that I watch, shows that he hasn't even covered himself, right? All of it shows that there is a way out from here. It's up to us to actually figure out how we escape the maze. And if I figure out the way out, I cannot tell you, hey, Ronan and etc., everyone on here, this is the way out, because it's going to be personal. It's going to be tailor-made specifically to me, specifically to Joshua, specifically to Ronan, or etc. You understand what I'm saying? It's a way out, but it's going to be tailor-made for the shit that you're going through in your own personal life. And I know that may sound ludicrous, but Why else would they leave this code in every single show, every single movie, every single music video? I mean, everything that's on the mainstream has this code in it. And I think it's up to us as a so-called truth community to try crack it.
Yeah, it's definitely up to us, because what I've noticed is that it's customized to the individual. You cannot put your trust on anyone, really. You do get trustworthy people, like people in the community, but I mean, when you leave here. So yeah, and I agree, there is a way out.
Look, if you're gonna wait
If
for
that wasn't
death
the
to try to
case.
find a word, like I said obviously earlier, there was the channel Chiran last. He even showed it. Death cannot be the salvation. How can you ask death to show me the way to life? You're not going to find that way through there. You understand? I think each individual needs to find it himself.
Yeah, look,
I can't.
you got that knowledge value in the body, but you need to understand that the body is a chasm between you and freedom, because the body is the prison for your consciousness. You've been imprisoned, and this is what we are trying to figure out. That what is the reason for our imprisonment? Is it for the sake of loosh? Is it because we pose a threat to our makers, or is it because it is just they watching us like a movie and they jacking off
I
of our
think it's as
suffering?
simple as just the loosh analogy. So the show Monsters Inc. kind of portrayed it. Another show, Dark Crystal, Jupiter Ascending. I mean, in fact, there's so many movies that continuously portray the same topic over and over again, and that's what I'm trying to get
but
at.
what do you think
All of these movies, all of these
why do you
shows are
think they'll show
continuously
us?
showing you the same thing. There must be.
Yeah, they're showing that in that movies. But why, in your opinion, why would they want to show us the way out in these movies?
I don't think they're showing us the
music,
direct way out. It's like, 10 years ago, there was
like a
some shit that
puzzle?
came up on the internet, Cicada 3301. I'm not too sure if any of you guys went down that rabbit hole, but it was supposedly some mystery for the most intellectual people to try crack the code and try to discover it. And if you go down that rabbit hole, there was only one guy that actually did crack the code. And supposedly he cracked it, and then he went missing after that. So I'm not saying that's the way out, but I think there is a way, or they are portraying something to us, and only for the truly enlightened to actually understand it and put the pieces of the puzzle together will understand how to get out. We can debate and fight each other, and we can go on and on. But if we can't understand the simple things that they put in front of us, then we're not really going to get out. It's like the soul trap theory
Yeah, but
is something that's mainstream
they
at this
put
point.
that clues? Why would they implement those clues in this matrix for real souls to wake up? Or
Whether
to
it's mockery
realize
or
that?
not, I don't know, because like I said, I see the synchronicities in my life. Look, I go through some of the shit. I got my own personal struggles, but I drive down the road and I'll see a billboard specifically speaking to me, supposedly. It has a message that directly correlates to the shit that I'm going through in my life. So
Like the movie Matrix. The movie Matrix, right? If it wasn't for the movie Matrix, I mean, there was a lot of truth in that movie. You know what I'm saying? Even after about 25 years,
No, I agree with
movie.
that.
So if it wasn't for the movie Matrix, we have known that we are in an actual simulation? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, look, if you go back all the way to the fucking 1700s, the Gnostics were talking about this shit in the Nag Hammadi Bible, right? The whole soul trap theory is nothing new in itself. It's been around for fucking over 200 years. I mean, as soon as a human could put pen to paper, we started writing about it. We started trying to teach and trying to communicate it to each other.
Yeah, but think about this, right? There's no free will. It's a scripted reality. So why would they, you know what I mean? So the only conclusion is that it depends on the level of awareness, that the script can change according to the level of awareness of a real soul that can bring out these clues of them waking up in the game. And it could help.
I really wish
it will help other souls.
Yeah, look, supposedly that could be true. The movie Adjustment Bureau shows something similar, where the character Matt Damon himself wakes up to a play playing out in front of him, trying to dictate his life, and he needs to find his way, so to speak. I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of it with him trying to find the girl and etc. But there was an agency supposedly trying to dictate whether he actually meets the girl, whether he's able to change his life or not. Whether you want to call those the Archons or supposed reptilian shapeshifters, greys, whatever the fuck it is that's watching over us.
The aliens.
Yeah, the aliens, the fucking, you know what I'm saying? But
praying
I think
mantis
each and
beings.
everyone knows that at this point there is
The
something
machine
watching over
elves.
us. Machine elves.
Have you heard
if
about
look
the
into
machine elves?
I mean, people take the Terence McKenna shit and then try to convert it into their own stuff, and that's what I'm saying. It's all over in the truth community, where people take other people's ideas, put a whole spin on it, and then now it becomes their idea. The machine elves, that Lolita, what's her name? Lolita Caroli or whatever the fuck her name is, right? She took the whole Terence McKenna shit, puts her own spin on it, and then now it's her theory. It's like, and then now everyone believes, hey, if you take DMT or you chow mushrooms, you're gonna see the fucking machine elves. So you're going under the assumption already before you even eat the stuff or before you even take it that you're gonna fucking interact with these things. You're setting up your subconscious, predetermined whether. So I think it's a mind fuck. I think the whole truth movement itself is a mind fuck in itself, and I don't think you ever will find the truth on YouTube, BitChute, TikTok, or whatever the fuck it is. You're never going to find the truth on any of these platforms. This is all for entertainment purposes.
Well, what we do know for certain is that this world is being run by beings, by otherworldly beings which we cannot see, but we know that they are there. Because so out of personal experience, that I have these entities. One of these entities appeared to me in 2011, back in 2011, when I died, because I had cancer. So basically, what happened was I died on the operating table, and I saw my grandmother that passed a year before. So they can appear to you as any form. They can come to you as a religious figure, like a Jesus, or as your pet or whatever. But it's not them. It's not your so-called loved ones, or it's not a Jesus, a real Jesus, because Jesus is a religious concept, and that's just a fictional character from a book. You know what I mean? So whether you want to call them archons or machine elves, or whatever you might call them, it's irrelevant, because they can appear as anything. We don't know what they are, but what we do know for certain is that they are there. That I can tell you, they are there, and they have an agenda.
I agree with that. Like I said, I 100% believe that we are being monitored, both from the astral plane and on the physical plane itself. There's a comment here from Magic Zebra. Mr. DT, can you suggest where we look for truth that can help us out of this mess? I wish I had all the answers for anyone out there. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that there's any man on this platform, or any platform for that matter, that has the truth for us. No one has the answers as to how to escape this place. And I think if any man did have the answers, he wouldn't be on these platforms trying to broadcast it, because you'd be fucking out within minutes. I think we witnessed that firsthand. I mean, where people try to spread the truth and suffered for it. The truth is never going to be found on any of these platforms. We can only discuss here what we theorize and what we think, and we can come up with theories and try to spitball at it. But as for definitive truth, you're not going to find it anywhere online.
But one thing is that when you said that you can't find the truth, is that we can get close. At least we can get the pieces of the puzzle.
That's what I'm saying. You can go down these rabbit holes, right? You can explore them. You can explore these avenues, whether it be gematria, astrology, astrotheology, numerology, etc., etc. Whether you look at it in your own personal life, right? You can take these ideas. I'm listening.
You can know at least.
No, I mean, you can come to the conclusion that our spirit and our soul is trapped into this place, right? That I agree with. But as to finding out definitive truth as how to escape this place, that's not going to happen on YouTube. That's not going to happen on TikTok or BitChute or any of these fucking platforms. That stuff will.
Yeah, but you can.
And even if I
what
come
you can
close,
do
if I even have the thought
you can get some
to convey that
information
message
from each
I promise you,
person
right?
and come to your own conclusion. That's what you can do.
Yeah, I'm saying you can
And
come to your own
try
conclusion, but like I said, it's going to be personal.
on a way.
It's going to be specific to your life and the things that you're going through in your own personal life. The shit that I'm going through is not going to correlate to the stuff that you're going through. We can understand that, look, you have a hard time in life, I have a hard time in life, and we start searching, right, as to why am I suffering? Why are you suffering?
Yeah,
as an
we
example,
still searching.
And
What
we keep
you're
searching.
saying is that no one knows everything.
Dude, okay, I'm going to be 34 years old in 2 months. I've been on the internet since I've been like 15 years old, right? I'm not saying I know all or anything of that sort, but I've been on the topic of looking for truth since I was 17 years old, right? And you're never going to find anything of it. I mean, the alien bullshit has been promoted since like 2010. Aliens are coming, the whole fucking Project Blue Beam and all of this stuff. We're in 2024. We're almost at 2025, right? Fuck all this happen. Nothing's gonna fucking happen. I don't think tomorrow the aliens are gonna fucking land here and fucking zap us all up and fucking save us. You see what I'm saying? None of that's gonna happen.
This place won't
right?
change.
You still have to go to work tomorrow. You still have to pay the fucking bills, right? I still gotta do that shit. Joshua's still gotta do that shit. Whoever's on here still gotta fucking pay the bills every day. I can't help you pay your fucking bills. You can't help me pay my bills unless I sell you my course. Hey, are you interested in looking at my website? You see what I'm saying? It's unless I'm trying to get something from you. There's no truth on you. You got your own shit to go through. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? You got your own shit to go through. I got my own shit to go through. And we can sit here and debate till our fucking jaws are sore. But we're never really going to find a conclusive answer as to how to escape this place on fucking YouTube. I'm not being negative, but I'm just saying, like, that's my personal feelings on it, you know?
What you have, I mean, but what we do have, what we do know is that, look, if you research, like I've been researching near-death experiences since 2011, right? And I had an outer body myself, and I can tell you what they do is they use deception to entrap souls.
Look, I myself had I wouldn't call it a near-death experience, but whether it's astral travel or whether it's a dream, I have seen stuff on the other side, and that's what actually led me down these paths. You know, it's
this rabbit hole. So
I believe, obviously,
sure.
Look. I believe the dream world or the astral plane or whatever you may call it may be a bit more real than we actually give it credit for. You know, I think there's more shit happening on the other side than we actually.
The astral. You see, the astral is just another matrix, according to my findings. So what they do is, we inside some sort of quantum computer, right? And we are plugged into the simulation to control us, and there's no free will. So our brains are pre-programmed how our lives will pan out from birth to death. And the only time the script can change is according to your level of awareness as a real soul. And every real soul is plugged into the world with a bunch of NPCs to make this world feel real, but that's part of the trick. And that's why I can tell you that you cannot trust anyone in person, like your kids. Your kids that you brought here are not like you.
Look, I know. Look,
you know what I mean?
And that's something that, like I said, that's the reason I'm on this fucking platform tonight. Is because I'm scared in my own personal life, dude. I don't know how much is true, how much is false anymore. I've seen so many things that, I mean, I don't know how to explain it, and I'm sure that anyone that's listening tonight or that's on this platform wouldn't think that I'm fucking crazy, but the amount of synchronicities that I have in my own personal life when it comes to showing me things on a daily basis is out of this world, dude. I mean, like from the minute I wake up, right? I mean, the first message that pops up on my phone, like I said, I drive down the road, but it's the car that passes me with number plates, etc. It's so specifically coded and tailor-made to the shit that I'm going through in my life that I find it. I'm scared at this point. I'm scared. I'm shit scared because I don't know. My daughter, right? She's 9 years old. I love her with everything. My son, he's 7, so they're still little. You're gonna tell me that they're not real anymore. The love that I feel for them is not real anymore. I don't know because
Yeah, you see, love is not what you think. It's love is, like I stated before, it's a drug, to be honest. Love doesn't exist. As I know it's a hard pill to swallow. I mean, you can believe love is real. I'm not saying that you must believe that. Believe
okay.
me what I'm
This
telling
this
you.
this is a response to Magic Zebra in the comments here. I was going to say, Zebra, that I believe that these movies and TV shows show us that there is a way out. I'm not saying that I know specifically the way out. I believe that there is a way out. I 100% believe that, right? The way out does not come through death, right? From my personal research, you can't wait till death happens and then try to escape this place. That's not what's going to happen in this, or supposedly happen. Death will take you to the astral plane, yes, and then you're going to go through the whole what was this movie? I can forget the name. Okay, not Soul, but Soul was another movie that Disney showed more or less as to what happens to the transition or what happens during the transition. But there's another comment there, 13th floor, Matrix. Yes, more or less. All of these shows do show you more or less that there is a way out. There is something else more to life than what we have here on the physical plane. I don't have the answers. And no one on this platform or in any platform on social media is going to have the answers for you. You need to do your own
Yeah, no,
research
but
and you're going to have to go
okay,
down this
but
path yourself.
one thing I disagree with you is that when you said, there are other things I agree with you, but this one thing I disagree with you is when you said
I'm
that
all yours, dude.
to escape this simulation, the
It
body
has to
needs to
happen before
die.
death.
You cannot
Yes.
escape the prison while you're in the prison.
No.
The
You
body
see,
is the prison.
you're going to disagree with me there, but that's what I'm saying. You can't wait for death to save you. Death is not going to be the salvation.
No, that's
The
not what I'm
escape
saying.
route,
While
like,
you're in
and
the
like,
body,
yes, like I'm not saying you sit there and meditate for fucking 10 minutes and then you're just going to elevate your consciousness and escape this matrix. It's not what's going to happen. But the point I was trying to get at is that why does every single movie, every single TV show, every single cartoon, right? I mean, you look at Gravity Falls or any of these shows, like Phineas and Ferb, right? Courage the Cowardly Dog, Ed, Ed and Eddie. All of these things have the same shit coded into them. Why? Why would every single show have the same thing coded into them then? If there's not a way out prior to death.
okay, but the thing is, how can you believe that there's a way out without the body dying, knowing that
Because
the
you're not the
body is a
body.
prison?
If like you said
And
earlier,
yeah,
you're not the body.
you're not the body, but what I'm
You're the
saying is,
consciousness
the
attached to the
body,
body.
yeah, you're the consciousness, but the body is the prison cell for the
Yes,
consciousness.
I agree
Meaning,
with you. Like I'm saying, I don't
so
know
to get out,
if I had the exact way out on how to escape it, I wouldn't be fucking on YouTube. You understand what I'm saying? I believe that there is a way out. Sorry, Tony.
okay, Ronan, your mic.
Okay, bliss me
I
ignorant.
can't
Sorry.
hear you clearly. I think there's something wrong with your mic. Not sure.
If you guys just give me 2 minutes, I'll be back with you guys now. 2
Your
minutes. 2 minutes,
mic.
I'll be back.
Okay, so there's something off about your mic, Ronan. No, there's something wrong with your mic. Okay, he's restarting.
It could be just a troll. I don't know. He could have just put his name in there as Ronan. It sounds like an alien, though.
Oh, is it?
I don't know.
It's around with the section.
Anyways, yeah, I agree with you, Bliss, that in order to leave, the physical vessel has to die. Even if, let's say, Mr. DT, like your way of exiting, your body has to remain here. It has to die. Correct? You don't take your
Yes.
physical body with you. So
No, you
to
can't,
everyone
because the
here,
physical
it
body
looks
is
like you
corrupted.
had passed away.
Yeah, and it's almost like everybody is looking for a solution to get out while still in the body. But what they don't realize is the body is the chasm, the prison cell for your consciousness that's standing between you and your freedom. Because if your body is off this matrix, you cannot leave while still in the body. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know what he meant when he said that you can escape while in the body, which is
And
not possible.
I think he
My
means
finding.
that if you wait for death in order for that to be your escape, then you're missing some other way to exit. But either way, your body is going to die. Either way you look at it, in my opinion. So your body will die, and then you'll exit the body prison. If you found the escape route, then you leave. Correct?
Yes. So while we're here, we get the information needed as much as possible so that we can be ready for when that time comes. Because at the moment of death, we need to know what to do in order to get the fuck out.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, you're
Oh, that's
back.
better.
What the hell was
That's
that?
bad.
Dude, this
What
okay,
was
this
that?
thing is
You
pinging,
sounded like
it's
a
pinging
robot.
me out every like 10 minutes. So I keep having to go back in. And then now my mic is I had to switch to a different headphone. So this is crazy. And I think Infinity was getting messed up too, based on his text in the chat. So yeah, we're getting messed up.
Yeah, my first live stream got messed with, so we had to start a new one. So it's just the name of this realm, I guess.
Look, Josh, I don't know how long you plan on going for, but and if I did say anything out of turn, I do apologize to anyone or any of the channels that I do mention. But like I said, I fully believe that obviously there is a syndicate at play here, monitoring and watching all of us closely to
Oh no,
try
you're
to hurt
totally,
us and to
yeah,
corral us into a specific agenda. You know, it's like we're all aware of the soul trap theory. But then it's like, okay, if you believe in soul trap, then you have to believe in this, this, and that. You know, you have to believe in the astral plane. You have to believe in we fighting the demons and we pulling out, etc., etc. It's like, come on.
yeah.
There's a lot of nonsense that
You're
does go with
totally
it.
in line. You can say whatever you want. I'm not offended at all. So that's why
You know,
I'm
All right,
doing
that's
this.
we're
sweet.
open to new
And that's why I
ideas.
jumped on, because I thought I could just fucking spew whatever nonsense I.
We are always, as a collective, we are always, as real souls, are open to new ideas
Look,
to get the fuck out.
and that's something that I just want to touch on again. It's like, I believe personally, I don't know Ronan and Blissfully Ignorant, haven't watched any of your content before. But I believe that we are all connected in some way, that we have some way to get out of this.
Yeah, that's very possible. That's when I said that,
I've
you
seen the
know,
synchronicities in my own personal life way too many times. Right? I stay in South
wait, hold
Africa. I'm
on,
in
I'll be
Durban,
back.
right? But yesterday I was talking about E. coli. And then this morning I wake up and I see something about the people in US got E. coli poisoning after eating McDonald's. And I was like, what the fuck, bro? That's something that I just spoke about so briefly yesterday. And then this morning it's all over the US news. And then you had Donald Trump fucking handing out McDonald's, etc., etc. I don't know. There's too many. There's so many weird incidents like this that I can pinpoint in my daily life, and it's from watching people like Josh, Infinite Corridors, etc. There's plenty of other people on here. I don't want to mention too many positive names because I don't believe there's too many people that actually have the truth anymore here on YouTube. I think a lot of
Be
them
right
are
back.
trying to pull the wool over our eyes and trying to hurt us into a certain mentality, like the whole Eric Dubay shit. It's like if Eric Dubay puts out a video about Soul Trap, you know it's gone mainstream. You know fucking Joe Rogan and all of these guys already know about this shit. You understand what I'm saying? Because he was name dropped on that show numerous times. And if a channel like that is talking about it, then that means they very aware of the smaller channels who are speaking about it. Sorry, my rant.
I agree with that. Makes sense.
Yeah. Well, just so you know, I'm not promoting anything on this channel. I don't have. I'm in this to
No,
uncover.
like I
You're
wasn't
about to start your
anyone out or
Patreon,
anything of
Josh.
that sort, but I'm just trying to say is that
He's
for
announcing
people that,
today his Patreon.
Yeah,
$10 a month. Truth only.
yeah, like I said, $1 for the
We
truth.
get a
You know?
discount, Josh.
So,
Yeah, I mean, this channel really first started because I wanted to just try to connect with other like-minded people, and then it delved into me just having the courage to say what I was thinking and feeling and what I was experiencing. And then,
look, and I appreciate you actually hosting the platform for people like us to come on here and to speak our mind, because I think there's a lot of us out here that have a lot to say, but we're too scared to say it. I myself was too scared to say it, to create my own channel or put that shit out there, you know? So coming on here was a bit more easier for me than for making my own video and posting it online. I did try that some time back, and I mean, the amount of trolls that I got, there were fucking more trolls than there were people who actually willing to conversate on the shit. So
yeah, that something I've realized is a lot of channels don't want you to disagree with them. They don't want to have actual discussions about anything. Yep. They just want you to listen to them and agree with them. If you agree with them, you can come on and talk. But if you don't, or if you're not promoting anything to make them money, then they won't even consider you.
And you'll get
100%
blocked
agree,
and
man.
shadow banned.
And that's what I'm saying. I've been big on the gematria community itself. You know, when I first started looking for the truth, I started looking at my own astrology. It led me down a rabbit hole to actually study astrology on a very high level. So I'm quite adept on it. But, you know, it's like understanding numerology and everything that goes with it. And then when you join these communities, it's everyone pushing a very specific agenda. It's like, if you don't agree with my gematria or you don't agree with my astrology, then you fucking wrong. And
yeah, well, that's it. It's like, it's me. I am the source of knowledge. That's
exactly, you know what I'm saying.
What I hear.
And we can't put a label on the truth. You can't put a price tag on it. And like I say, we can all speak our mind on here, but it's just opinion based. It's for entertainment, because we don't 100% have concrete truth to it. You know, I mean, we can't definitively prove that any of our theories actually exist, because if we could, all four of us on this fucking live stream would zap the fuck out this place immediately. You know, and that shit's not happening. So but yeah, the fact that we can actually get online and conversate with each other, have these conversations and speak our mind, I appreciate that. So thank you, Josh, for that.
Of course, yeah. Everything you've said is highly appreciated. You've dropped a lot of knowledge and wisdom and experience on us.
I think a lot of us don't have people in real life to even talk to about these things. So it's really, really great place to be found.
Yeah, and that's why, I mean, for me, this energizes me in a way that I can't even describe, because we're all mutually respecting each other and allowed to share our ideas and experiences. And you actually understand what I'm talking about. When does that ever happen in your daily life? Never.
No, I mean, never, dude. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Even on YouTube itself, if you go into the Mandela effect communities, these guys will only speak about Mandela effects. If you mention Soul Trap or you mention any other fucking theory on there, you're gonna get booted immediately. You know, so it's like, okay, we host Mandela effect. There's changes happening in the world. Something's fucking wrong. But if I have an opinion outside of the Mandela effect or timeline jumping or fucking any of this shit, you get booted. You know what I mean? It's we're not really free to discuss what we want at this point. So
yeah, I mean, because
and there's probably going to come a time when communication will be ceased. Period. You know, no internet, no nothing. So I'm also kind of not preparing for that, but I kind of see that coming down the line too. Or even if not that, something to where everything is really heavily censored, heavily banned, to where things like this will no longer exist, at least spaces like this. So I'm kind of preparing for that a little bit.
Well, I'm glad that I could have this conversation with you while we're still a little more free. I mean, YouTube is like cracking down hard
Oh, it's gonna
Crazy.
get rough, man.
I don't know if any of you guys seen the conversations that people have with AI nowadays. I mean, how sophisticated this thing is. And I believe, obviously, it's listening to everything that we said tonight. This entire, 3 hours, 44 minutes, or 34 minutes in. AI has been fucking listening to every single fucking word of that shit. You understand what I'm saying? It's like,
Oh, there's agents.
they know.
Here. There's agents watching us.
No, I know that for sure. I mean,
Probably.
like, the agent side of it, like, I've been on a battle against them for quite some time now. So, like I'm saying, I've been trying to call out a lot of these so-called truth channels, people who always fucking got a price tag on the truth. That shit fucking irritates me because, I mean, all of us in the same fucking pool here. I mean, we all struggling in our own personal lives. We all got shit that we need to get through. Finance is a problem for most likely everyone. And then when you come out to the same people who are struggling every single day, fucking having a hard time, just trying to sell a course to us, trying to sell your fucking book to us, trying to sell your fucking podcast to us. Like, we don't give a fuck at this point. It's either we need help. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, we need to talk to each other. We need to fucking communicate in some other way besides you trying to sell your book to me or some of the shit. It's sickening to me at this point as to how far humanity will go just to try to push their own specific agenda. It's fucking irritating at this point.
Hey, that book that you shared, Ronan, is free.
Oh, dude, it's
free.
Explain.
It's
free, dude.
No, I'm not throwing any shade at you, dude. I'm just saying it's like,
like the book even explains all of that, because part of that is suffering, part of that is slavery. Is everyone has their own desire to control.
Yeah, it's like, if you care about the truth, why are you trying to put a price tag on it and sell it to people who can't otherwise access it? And it blows my mind, because then it corrupts the message and why you're doing something. Ultimately, you're doing it to get money. That is the truth, whether you want to believe it or not. Your sole purpose is putting out information and then getting paid for it, not actually caring about putting the information out for the sake of it.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, like, I'll get into one theory that I have myself, right? In 2016, we had the whole tunnel opening ceremony in, I think it was Switzerland or some of that shit, right? One of these European countries, where CERN had the whole ceremony to open up this tunnel, right? That was 2016. And not too long after that, like, this is clear in my conscious, that Neville Goddard broke into the scene of YouTube. I've been on YouTube for fucking, that's what I'm saying, since I was 17 years old. I never heard of this motherfucker, right? Now, all of a sudden, his work is promoted everywhere. Everyone knows Neville Goddard, the truth of manifestation. The feeling is the secret, and blah, blah, blah. And it's promoted everywhere. You just got to live in the end. And this type of shit into YouTube, and you're going to see how many channels pop up with all of them trying to promote the same ideology, right? But every single one of these channels are all trying to sell something to you. And that something is being their courses, right? And there's someone, DW, right? Hit the nail on the head there. It was called the Goddard Tunnel that CERN opened up. And then that's when Neville Goddard himself came onto the scene. But if you look at YouTube, you're going to see that his work was posted 11, 12 years ago. I'm saying I've been on this platform for quite some time and I never heard of him. And now all of a sudden everyone's promoting manifestation and how you can manifest this shit into your life almost immediately. I tried that shit. It don't work. People can say, oh, you have a negative emotion attached to it. That's why you can't manifest and blah, 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 blah. Like, okay, supposedly so. Maybe I do have some negativity attached to me because this fucking place sucks, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's hard to be positive in a place where that's fucking constantly beating you down. So I don't know. Like, maybe I'm talking shit. Maybe I'm fucking...
No, that's why when I hear someone is happy, I just look at them like they're crazy. Like,
dude, I don't even know what it feels like to be happy anymore. I may sound like some fucking lousy asshole. I'm saying I have a wife and a kid.
You're just not suffering. I think those are the only kind of three options.
Yeah, and like Jared says, yeah. I mean, God didn't know everything. We like today we are literally covered in a blanket of EMF, right? Electromagnetic frequencies. If you got Wi-Fi at home, we're conversing over the internet. That means every single one of us has Wi-Fi or some internet connection, right? The entire grid is now covered in a blanket of EMF, right? That electromagnetic frequency does not allow you to manifest shit in this place. You
We're
cannot
getting
manifest.
blasted 24/7, 365. Literally, the materials that your home is made out of, the material of your clothing, it's all toxic, man. All toxic.
All right, hey guys, I just that's been a while, but I gotta get going back to my my fake illusory world, back to my mundane chores and shit I have to deal with. But I appreciate everyone coming on and sharing and talking.
Thank you for having us on, dude.
Thanks for having
Appreciate
us, and it's nice to meet you guys.
All right, sweet.
Yeah.
Take
and
care, everybody.
You know, if
Love
I'm
you guys.
live, feel free to join again because it's been a great discussion.
Sweet. Cheers.
For sure, I'll be here again, man. Definitely.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, and thanks to everyone for listening. And try to have a good day while you're in hell. I don't know. How do I end it?
You can't even really say anything.
I
you
know,
what I
right?
mean? It's like, I can't say
You're
enjoy
fucked.
your day because
You're
that's not
fucked.
gonna
Bye.
happen.
There's no hope. I'll see you later.
Hey, that's more honest.
Yeah. All right, guys. Bye.
Catch you later.